Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If if this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. Anyways, I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I heard is life is about to majorly change. I'm hoping majorly change for the best. That's what I'm hoping. I would love that. Life changing for the best. Ooh. Ooh. I would absolutely love that. I ain't even gonna lie. I would love that. Um, Nothing wrong with life right now, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It'd be amazing. Do 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 do. Sometimes I'm scared of you. I don't know. I do know where that song is coming from. Oh my gosh. I was watching a Britney Spears video. I'm sorry. That's what I was doing. And so now the song is stuck in my head. Okay. It's okay. It's perfectly fine. We all know how my brain functions. Sometimes I hide. Sometimes I'm scared of you. All I really want is to hold you tight, treat you right. All right, the cards are almost ready. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's gonna be okay. La 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 da 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 do 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 do. All right, a couple from here. Look here. Look here. How are you guys doing? The energies have been super emo. They have been. They're super emo. It's okay. I think a lot of people are feeling super emo. And, it's part of just kind of addressing some of the blockages, feeling and allowing ourselves to move through this part of the journey. The journey. All right, one more shuffle for this. It doesn't feel dark and heavy, you're right, but there is a lot of emotions. It's almost like things from very deep, 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 deep down. Hi, Genevieve. They are just bubbling to the surface. Okay, let's get started. Ooh, what is this? Ooh, what is this? I'm suddenly feeling like, I don't know. Ew. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not a bad feeling, but it is. It's like it's almost like this sense of heartache, heartbreak. Oh my God, is this going to be one of those readings? It's like this sense of heartache and heartbreak, right? Whatever it is you're going through, um, kind of just recognizing, I guess, the root of it. Let me just start. Okay. Life is about to majorly change. I think someone is considering something having to do with you. I think someone's considering something having to do with you. They've been having a lot of communications. They might not see it as a communication, but it absolutely is a communication. They're receiving all of these messages that pertain to you. Okay. They just cannot get you out of their head. This is obviously, I guess it's a love reading. I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's a love reading. Let's see. Yeah, no, they can't get you out of their head. They can't cleanse themselves of you and your energy. Um they want to be with you. They want to be with you. And I feel like I need lashes. uh I feel like I need to put some lashes on or something to be able to do this reading. Because when I wear lashes, it like takes me to a whole nother energy, right? Right? So, there's not enough Jesus songs in this world for me to work through this. There's you guys. These types of readings just like, ooh, I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Hey, I want to dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me. Don't you want to dance? I just this energy needs to be purged. So they can't get you out of their head, and they want to be with you. They want to start a foundation with you. They want to come home. You are home, and they want to come home to you. They want to start a foundation with you. And I would not be surprised if they're having communications, energetic communications, signs, symbols, symptoms. I feel like whatever this is, that I want a hug from my husband. It's what it is. These type of emotions. I don't do well with these types of emotions. It's like burning up all of my glucose. I'm feeling dizzy. I'm not even joking. I am all right. I feel like they're even receiving messages, maybe from soul, maybe from ancestors. Like every little thing, every little thing is just shoving you in their face. Every little thing is shoving you in their face. That's nervous laughter. None of this is funny. I'm serious. None of this is funny to me, but it's just nervous laughter. Don't worry. This reading ain't got nothing to do with me. It's not my reading. It's not. I probably should have ate before this. Hello? Hello? Sorry. Fucking I need something. Hold on. I've got to SOS my family. I need a please. Please, I need a house, a bar, plus my workout bag. Please. Thank you. Don't pass out. We're not trying to pass out. So they're all up in your space. All up. Oh no, you're all up in their space. All up. You're not even trying. You're not even trying. It's just constantly creation, ancestors, whatever it is just shoving you in there, shoving you nonstop. Sign after sign after sign after sign, nonstop. Just nonstop. Can't stop, won't stop. Rockefeller came to get down. Came to get down. You getting down. You know what I'm saying? No, you're not getting down. They're getting down with your energy. They are bordering on just bothered. They're bothered because they're trying not to think about you. They're trying not to think about you. They're trying not to notice. They're trying to ignore whatever these signs are. Yo, you know what? Yes. Thank you. Oh, I love you. Could I have water too? Um, okay, thank you. Thank you. Don't fucking pass out. I need something. I need something. I'm serious. Okay. It's going to be fine. All right. Okay. Man, that's some good shit. I'm telling you. I feel the aminos hit my bloodstream and it's just like leveled out. So they can't get you out of their head, right? And I think a lot of what's happening right now is they're being forced into a space of healing. You're not forcing them, their soul is. Even their ancestors are all up in this mix. All up in this mix. They're just all up in this mix. I don't know if it's someone new. I don't know. It doesn't read like it's someone new. If they can't get you out of their head, um, I don't think it's someone new. It could be someone that you've just recently crossed paths with. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Got a white boy on my roster. He be feeding me pasta and lobster. First off, I don't have a roster. Secondly, I'm more in the brownish type of vibe. I like brown. You know what I'm saying? Thirdly, I can't have pasta or lobster. I'm allergic to crustaceans. I will die. Pasta will kill me much slower, though. You're probably going to involve nightshades or dairy. That will kill me a lot faster. Yeah. I'm totally good thing I got married young. Because the dating scene now, like these boys would have me die during the date. I would die. The things y'all try to feed me. I would. I'd be like, no, thank you. Do you know about food intolerance? No, no, I'm not interested. Do you know about brain swelling when gluten is introduced? No, no, you'll kill me. I'm not interested. Okay, let me focus. So whoever this is for you, they feel very unprotected when it comes to you. They feel very just like they're powerless. They're powerless when it comes to you. They are. They're powerless when it comes to you. They feel like you're absolutely their kryptonite, but at the same time, proximity to you is what will give them the sense of stability. This person feels like there's someone who would serve sort of as a guardian for you. You would be their. This is a cute little thing, cute little vibe y'all got going on. Um, you would be their healer and they would be your guardian, right? So that's a cute little thing that's going on. It feels like this is something that for some of you is reciprocated. Um, for those who kind of have like the stalker vibe, that means they like you too. So if you're a stalker, that means this doesn't apply to you. Right? That means this reading doesn't apply to you. You know, this is not about someone who completely disrespects your sovereignty in your space. This reading is about someone who doesn't come around because they respect your sovereignty in your space. I want to make that very, very clear. This is not someone that you have had um, a previous encounter with and they were mad disrespectful. Like, we want to get this very, very clear. Okay. We want to get this very, very clear because there be some like really toxic people who try and take my words and use it to justify their, let's just be very blunt here, their bullshit. Right. No, this reading is not about them. It's not. It's not about the people who try and force you into this space of believing because they're demanding that you agree and believe this. This is not about people who are trying to ensnare you by using spiritual concepts that have been absolutely bastardized. It's making me feel sick. It is. That's what I'm feeling thinking about that. People who do that kind of stuff are on a whole nother level of, you know, I got let me put it on the screen here. I got a solution for that. I got a solution. There is this magical kit that I put together, right? I don't really talk about this too much, but it's a magical kit that I've put together. The whole purpose of this kit is to directly address succubus, incubus, demonic sexual demons, demonic ass behavior where they're trying to take ownership of you. You fuck them all the way across the screen and off the stage. Those people are shit people. Oh, calm down. Oh shit. Ooh. Hello. Hello, Michael. Yes. Can you please sedate me? I want to be sedated. I'm just saying, I'm serious because now I'm riled up. I hate people like that. Genuinely, wholeheartedly. I dislike people like that. I really so. Mm. Ooh. Okay. We're done. Get that off the screen. That one is specifically to address that kind of attempt to soul tie you, attempt to force you. I'm saying, yeah, the way I work out, I'm not just working out to like gain muscle mass, right? I'm not just trying to sculpt my body. The way that I work out, I'm intentionally because I know how to fight. I know how to fight. Like, I'm not talking about like, I mean, like, bam, you know what I'm saying? I know how to fucking fight. And the thing is, the way I'm working out, it's really encouraging the hypertrophy of the muscles that are necessary to fuck someone up if I ever need to for self-defense. That's an important factor right there, right? Because I'm not naturally violent. And it's this thing of like, we have to stop giving permission to those types of people, that type of intention. Don't be nice about it anymore. As someone who's consistently nice to others and have that be thrown in my face consistently by these type of people, listen here, you fucking succubus, incubus motherfucker. I'm telling you right now, the muscles I'm working right now, the muscles I've been working. You ever heard of Muay Thai? You ever heard of Muay Thai? The degree of strength in my hip flexors. Ooh, ooh, I'm saying. I'm saying it's sexy. It is. It's sexy. It's sexy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm at a point where I have no problem speaking openly about the need for those of us who are very gentle in our communication, very mindful of being offensive to other people. We need to stop that shit. We need to stop that shit. I'm saying there's something about being able to grab someone by the neck and pull them down so that my knee, ooh, so I'm saying, ooh, right into the sternum. I'm saying, heart chakra, that shit. You need a heart chakra realignment. That's me realigning your heart chakra, you fucking incubus. Okay, let's change the direction of the reading. I'm riled up. Oh my God. I'm riled up. Maybe I shouldn't have had aminos. Oh shit. My body be learning. Once those aminos hit, it's time to work out, boo. Work on the hip flexors, ladies. Work on the hip flexors, ladies. Not just the quads. You want the hip flexors too? Oh, with a knee. Heart chakra realignment. I got to service motherfuckers like that. I'm saying, stop, girl, stop. Ooh. Okay, I stop messing around. Seriously, if you're dealing with something like that, here, I have a mofo. Check out the kit. You do it yourself. Um, more intense parasitic connections with people, if it's more intense, you're probably going to need a black magic revocation. That's a private session. Um, it's just one of those things. That type of violation of your sacred space get me real riled the f up. Oh, third eye open. That's what elbows are for. You know what I'm saying? Put some lats into. Put some lats into. I'm saying, no, don't be violent. I'm being serious now. Don't be violent. I'm just feeling aggressive because I don't like when people mess with you. I don't like when people mess with others, especially those of us who are just so gentle. You know, that we never talk about our needs. We never express to others what we actually need and the way our boundaries are being crossed and all of that. I was totally messing around with it. You guys, I don't like violence. I don't like violence. If you have to consider being violent in the space that you're occupying, I think maybe being very serious now. I think maybe it's time for you to consider exiting that environment and entering into a different one that's more supportive of you remaining in your space of peace, your space of docile nature, whatever it is, right? Like, it's one of those things. I joke around about a lot of different things, but I don't violence is really a last resort option. For my personal views, that's really a very last resort type of option. Okay. So, being completely serious now, you have to make sure that you're really intentionally cultivating your space. The person that this reading is about, like getting back on track, the person that this reading is about, they have no intentions of bringing that side of you out. They really don't. This is someone who's been very respectful of your space. I mean, this is like this person is consistent. They are so consistent and persistent. I'm just, I don't know. Maybe we need to find out who this is, do a GoFundMe and get them some I say John's wort or something. I mean, you need some adaptogenics. I keep telling you, whoever you are that keeps popping up in my readings, I want you to go ahead and to just really dive into the information regarding rhodiola rosea. Like that will really help. Siberian Eleuthero, that should really help. Cordyceps, like St. John's wort. Okay, St. John's wort. You need to detox your body. I'm saying, I'm serious. I'm serious. Sometimes when you have all of that emotional toxicity, it really clogs up a lot of your not just energetic pathways, but physiological detoxification pathways, your lymphatic system, right? You're feeling very, very sluggish or feeling very unhappy and all of these different things. Okay, your body is probably trying to communicate something to you. You're feeling angry about certain things and resentment. Okay, you need to flush your fucking liver. The liver, it governs that emotion. The gallbladder governs resentment. You having a hard time breathing? Okay, because you're suppressing so much that needs to be processed. Whoever you are, book a fucking session already. Book a session with me. We'll fix your life right up. I promise you. I'm so good at this. I'm so good at this. Book a session. mevolving.com. Book a session, whatever session. You book your session, and then when your session date comes up and we're sitting in front of each other, you'd be like, Emmy, those readings are about me. And I'm be like, oh boo, let me fix that for you. I'm gonna fix all your energy. I'll fix your energy. I'll give you instructions on how to fix all of this stuff that you're going through because this is so unnecessary. It really is. It's so unnecessary to have this be going on for how many years at this point? I think it's the same person, you guys. I think it's the same person for how many years at this point? I mean, do you even go to the gym? Maybe you need to do some cardio, burn up all of this like pent up aggression, pent up frustration. It's important. I'm totally serious. Totally serious. I don't know. Do you have people in your life that actually care about what you're going through, because that sucks, right? It feels like either you don't have anyone in your life that is supportive of your organic process that you're in, and that's why it's been going on for how many years, or they're flat out against the process that you're in. Is this like a case of the person wants to approach you, but everyone in their life is like, no, you shouldn't. No, you shouldn't. Why not? If you can't get this person out of your head, you need to address this. And there's a very real potentiality that the people who are telling you that, no, you shouldn't, you shouldn't, you shouldn't, have no idea the actual effects of this on you. Now, just because you approach someone doesn't mean they're now obligated to be your romantic partner, but at least you can begin the process of whatever it is you need to do. You can't keep living like this. You just can't. You cannot keep living like this. This is too much. And I mean, to be honest, I'm kind of sick of it. It's been quite a few years. I'm not sick of you. I'm sick of you going through this and not having any respite, any type of break from whatever this depressive ass shit is. Like, I can't do that. I can't. I can't. And maybe people need to be honest with you to this degree. As deep as I'm being honest, maybe they need to do that for you. Right? Because the sense that I get is if this has continued for how long, there's probably people in your environment that are keeping you in that space. Their advice is phase locking you in that lesson. It's unnecessary pain. It's unnecessary pain. I don't know. I don't know. I feel a lot of sadness that doesn't belong to me. Um So let's get back on track. Yeah, I would rather approach this reading from your point of view, not the cross watcher's point of view, because that degree of depression and stagnation, I can't cope with that. I can't. I can't. That is far too much to have my little self try and deal with that for you. I can't. I can't. I refuse to allow myself to enter into that same space of very thick, very dense emotion. I'm capable of it, but I don't want to because I get stuck there too. I'm good. I'm good. See, as empaths, we need to hear this because oftentimes we volunteer to take on someone else's pain without even considering the fact that we get stuck there too because we are mirroring their pain. Oftentimes, the people that you are drawn to help heal as an empath, they are reflections of the parts of you that you struggle to address, struggle to acknowledge, and find it damn near impossible to begin the process of healing. I had to learn this the hard way. This is why I kept seeking people projects. This is the very reason why I could never, at one point in my life, I could never walk away from anyone that was struggling or suffering. Mhm. Whether it was appropriate for me to help or not, I would insert myself into those situations. It always ended up really badly for me. And it ended up really badly for me because I was not supposed to be part of those situations. You can have sympathy for someone and be like, that's really sad that you're going through that. I hope the best for you. I hope things improve. You don't always have to be to the degree of empathy where you are going to bury yourself with them because that's not going to help anyone. The most powerful thing you could do as an empath is remain solidified within your space of centeredness and extend a hand out like, hey, you're in a hole. Grab my hand. I'll pull you out. I'll pull you out. And of course, you're also going to come across people who they have no desire coming out of the hole. That's where they feel they belong. And if you involve yourself, they're going to suck you into their hole and keep you there. You don't deserve that. When someone is willingly choosing to remain in that space of density, what's it going to help if you choose to join them there? It's not. It's just not. So you have to be very mindful of your magic and the way your magic affects other people. Okay. For many of you, you have a very real effect on others. And that very real effect is one that's very healing and very empowering. Whether you intend to, or whether this is just a natural, normal, very common reaction that people have, um, you know, it's just one of those things where you need to begin intentionally harnessing that, you know? Oh, Maria. Hmm. Here, I'm going to show this. Besides financial problems, that is the reason why you don't purchase anything. Don't need you to feel all my caca. It's not for you. Love and respect you too much. And I reciprocate that love and respect. Sometimes, Maria, you need to just kind of reach out, um, you know, as a friend, not for services, not for sessions. Um, Sometimes you need to just reach out as a friend needing a friend, right? So I'm not like this for everyone. I'm going to make that very clear before people start to flood my inbox hoping for free shit from me. Um, that version of me no longer exists. But there are a very small few who have touched my heart in some very deep way. And when they reach out, it's reaching out as a friend, not as a potential client. Yeah. So sometimes, Maria, how's your mom, by the way? She's been in my thoughts. Sometimes you just kind of need to reach out, be like, hey. And then I'll be like, girl, I feel you, girl. I don't count too many people as a friend. And it's not that I'm not drawn to people or I don't care. It's that I'm learning about boundaries and appropriate connections, as well as um, connections that are more parasitic, transactional. I've had more than my fair share of people reaching out to share their story so that they could secure some type of something from me. And yeah, no, the version of me that's primary at this point, um, I've learned to say no. I've learned to assess the energy of the message before it's even opened and just be like, nope, this is not healthy for me. Not, no, I don't want to help. Not, no, I don't care. No, this is not healthy for me. I cannot even um, allow myself to engage in that, right? Girlfriend, look at Maria right here. I'm about to shake weight you, Maria. I think you'll fight back. I'm not going to shake weight you. Too much trauma in me. You do not need that. I once told a really, really good friend of mine, something very, very dear to me. You got to stop trying to handle everything on your own all the time, right? Because sometimes um, it's very beneficial for you to reach out. And I know you're going to be like, I don't want to put that on you because you're very sensitive. I don't want people I care about to feel the density and the darkness that I feel. And it's like, no offense. Oh, what the fuck you think I do for work every day? What the fuck you think I do? I deal with demonic shit day in, day out, baby boo. If there is one person in your life that can handle that shit and not take it in, not take it personal. Um, Hello, my name is Emmy. I'm a demonologist, parasitic extractor, and professional exorcist. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Not trying to force myself on people. But I'm just saying. You are not a demonic shit. But I'm saying I deal with demonic shit day in and day out. I'm just like, bitch. Hello, demon. You want me to fuck you up today, tomorrow? What it is? What it is, boo? What's up? I'll say it. Sometimes we don't even need the session. Sometimes what we need is to just be acknowledged, right? Sometimes what we need is for someone who truly, genuinely understands to be like, "Yeah, nah, you're not tripping, girl. I'd be fucking pissed too. I'd be fucking pissed too. What'd you eat? What'd you eat today? Where'd you go? Have you gone outside? Did you eat yet? Did you drink anything? You better drink some water. You're kind of dehydrated right now. It's going to affect your mood." You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's all you need, right? Especially those of us who are caretakers for the people in our lives. Um, it's really, really important. Life is about to majorly change. And it's this thing of whatever the change is, it has to be a change that you initiate. Initiate by holding an intention and allowing that intention to come to fruition, to allow that intention to manifest into some type of form. And as you begin to do that, you'll begin to de escalate this growing um, discomfort with who you are and the process that you're in. I think for many of us, we are growing very, very uncomfortable with the things that we are going through. We're becoming very, very uncomfortable with it. And that's probably because your soul doesn't want you to hide these things from yourself anymore. You know what I'm saying? Your soul doesn't want you to hide these things from yourself anymore. So, yeah, you're going to have to face some really dark, intense things. You're going to try and convince yourself that you're just imagining these things. You probably not. You're probably not. All right. Ooh, hey, Colors. Colors says, crushing under the weight of expectations. What's important here is whose expectations are crushing you? Your own expectations of yourself? And are they really your own? Or have you adopted, indoctrinated yourself with other people's expectations? Or is this flat out someone else's expectations of you? Right? That's a very important thing to consider. I hope you're okay. I hope you're okay, Colors. Well, kind of, that hurts my heart. I hope you're just commenting and not actually. You're so small. you're so small. Crushing under the weight of expectations. Boo, don't make me fuck people up. They're not allowed to crush you. I love you. Hmm. That's why I don't keep in touch with too many people. I be feeling everyone's stuff. I be like really feeling everyone's stuff. And I don't want you guys to feel like, oh my God, no. I don't want you to feel it. I mean, look, y'all. What the fuck? It's my dog. Is Miss Joy Joy. What is going on? She's been burritoed under pillows. Okay. It gonna be okay. Help shape the future. What are your preferences and what do you simply tolerate? Ooh! God dang, God dang. God dang, God dang. That's a notification I just got. Help shape the future. What are your preferences and which do you simply tolerate? Ooh! Oh my God. Oh my God. That right there That's what's blocking your manifestation from coming through. You're dealing with things that are merely tolerated, trying to convince yourself that you need to deal with it, when in reality, you don't. That doesn't mean it's going to be easy to recalibrate yourself to the degree where it's like, you know, I'm okay with people being disappointed, right? Hmm. It's almost this sense of needing to go through the process to build the callus. You don't want to be a walking callus. You don't want to be a callous person, but a callus, when strategically allowed, um, can very much serve a potent purpose. Guitarists, they'll build a callus to strum. I'm not a guitarist, obviously. Uh, someone once tried to teach me in person, and they tried to twist my fingers in a way that did not feel sacred. And I was just like, "Take your fucking guitar. Don't ever touch me like that again." And that's when the friendship kind of degraded. I was just like, "Motherfucker, who gave you permission to touch my fingers like this?" I was upset, but I didn't say that. I just kept it in my mind and my heart, and the friendship kind of eroded after that. Don't ever touch my fingers like that again. But a callus, when properly strategically allowed, it can serve a tremendous purpose. Lately, I have not been wearing gloves to lift heavy. That's because I'm finally allowing myself to develop calluses, right? They're not severe, but they're just enough to be able to do what I need to do. Okay. So you don't want the whole hand calloused. You want strategic placement so that you're not just this, extremely emotional being that is so emotional it becomes crippling for you. It is okay to be emotional. It is okay to feel the full spectrum of emotions. It is not okay to allow the emotions to get so out of control that it cripples you on a daily basis. That is not okay. So, oh, hmm, hmm. Oh my God. I think you and whoever this cross watcher is, you guys are serving as mirrors of each other. Mm. Oh no. Let's see. Yep. See what I'm saying? You're serving as mirrors of each other. You're both getting triggered to the degree that it's presenting an opportunity for alchemical change. But and I'll show you guys the cards, okay? So, surface. What's surfacing is the reflection of the two of you, right? So this is someone you probably have some type of soul-based connection to. This soul-based connection um, is not parasitic in nature. It's not something having to do with ownership of you. Um, and I don't feel like this person is trying to own you either. I don't get that sense. I get that they have the capacity to enter into that frame of mind when they're in a relationship with someone, but they know they can't do that to you. Yeah, they know they can't do that to you, nor do they want to. So, you see, okay, so I'm really good with psychological stuff, right? I never bothered to finish getting a degree in psychology just because I felt like, what's the point? But I'm really good at discerning some of the potential dysfunction in your current psychological state. And I've had many people tell me over the years, and I'm not offering counseling services like that or therapy, mental health therapy. Um, but here's the thing, because I don't have licensure in that, I'm not technically that. I don't have to abide by those very limiting types of interactions. I can be really honest with you. As a spiritual coach, I don't have the same type of limitations. So when I say that this is someone who just really they have a very dominant type personality, but not with you. They know they can't do that to you. They know that they cannot do their same old bullshit. I don't even know if they're trying to be romantic with you. It's almost like a sense of they just know they have to be in proximity to you. They know that there is things that are needing to be completed between the two of you, and they're soul-based things. I don't think they quite understand. You're over here. Where are you? There you are. You're over there just kind of living your life. Eyes wide open, not drowning beneath the surface. And then they're right there too. But it's almost like they're afraid to really take a good hard look at who you are and what you are in regards to their journey, the unfoldment of their understanding of themselves and their life. This is not a soul connection, how like social media tells you. I tell you right now, like 98% of the information you'll see on social media regarding soul based connection is just utter fucking bullshit. It's narcissistic empath connection, is bullshit. Seriously, it's just bullshit. Don't listen to none of that. There are going to be people who will speak in a very like um confident manner, like they know all about the different connections, and you have to this and you have to that. You know how many people told me that I need to leave my husband because he's not my twin flame and my twin flame needs me? Like, fuck that shit. I don't think so. I got a catch of a man. Like, no, no, I don't need to leave my husband. If I was supposed to be in a relationship with a twin flame, and you don't just have one twin flame, people be like, I only have one. No, the fuck you don't. No, the fuck you don't. They're not as many as soulmates, but no, the fuck you don't just have one twin flame. No. So, my logic is this: if I was supposed to be in a romantic relationship with a twin flame, they would have found me and been with me before I ever met my husband. Yep. My honest, genuine belief. I am not missing out on anything not being in a relationship with my twin flame. I am not settling for my husband. I'm telling you right now, this man make me feel so much I got to put socks on. Yeah, no. I sometimes it'll pop in my head and it'll be this thing of me just really taking a moment and being fully aware. I will never find another man who can love me the way my husband does. Nor do I want to. Nor do I want to. I will never be willing to invest of myself, my energy, and my life the way I have into this particular man. I just don't want to. I just don't like people that much. Like, I'm not willing to. I'm at a point in my life, but you know what? I'm too old for that bullshit. You want to have your little ass tantrum? Go right the fuck ahead. I'm not going to be there when you're done. No, no. Mm-mm. I don't think so. I'm aware, 100% certain. I'm not willing to. I'm not willing to. I've already decided a long time ago. If for any reason I'm no longer with my husband, I'm be single for the rest of my life. I don't want people around me like that. I have a lot of kids. I enjoy my kids. I don't need no other people's bullshit. I feel very fulfilled with my family. I have amazing girlfriends. I've experienced so much in my relationship with my husband. We've gone through so many different spaces of growth together. I don't need to experience any more of that with anyone else. And when I decide things, I stick to it. Like, I'm stubborn like that. I stick to it. It's not to prove something. Like, I have an awareness of my life and I'm good. A lot of the things that you see on social media regarding these soul-based connections is absolute bullshit. It is literally bullshit. It causes you to think that you need to let people treat you badly because what? They have some type of spiritual claim over you? Fuck that shit. You, my twin flame, you better fucking know what you can and cannot do to me, around me, about me. I hold you to a very high degree of accountability. You hurt my feelings? Oh, you're a twin flame? You did that shit on purpose. You want to claim twin flame? That means you should know me inside and out and know what will hurt me and to what degree I will be hurt. So if you hurt me, that shit's on fucking purpose. And no, I'm not getting over that shit. How about we start holding twin flames to that standard? How about we start holding twin flames to that standard? You want to claim someone's your twin flame? Hold them to that standard. See how that works out. I be having attitude, like attitude. And I've found several twins. None of them have ever tried to get me, twin flames. None of them have ever tried to get me to run away with them, right? They all know specific boundaries. You don't cross that shit with me. Um, one, I got tired of like the things he would talk about. And I was just like, you know, I mean, like, don't you think you're kind of causing your problems? Right? Like you keep having the same cycles and it's just really negatively affecting me at this point. And I forgot now what they said, but the only appropriate response that I felt in my heart was like, fuck you. Don't ever fucking message me again. I'm sick of your shit. I don't give a fuck if you're a twin. And they're like, whoa. And I was like, yeah, fuck you. And then I hung up. And then I didn't take any messages or calls from them for I think like maybe a year or two, maybe even 2 years almost. And I could feel them consistently thinking about me and like worrying and all of this stuff. And I'm like, no, fuck you. I don't need your shit. I don't need your shit. And then it was sign after sign after sign after sign. I was just like, oh, God. It's just fine. I'll reach out. And I reached out. I was like, "What do you want?" I'm not even joking. I literally that was my message. "Hey, what do you want? Like, I can feel you pushing out your frequency. Like, what the fuck do you want? Are you okay?" And they're like, "I've just been really worried about you. I have these crazy dreams that you and Frey and the kids are needing me or need help, and I've just been worried. Are you guys okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no, we're fine." Like, "Why are you worried?" And he's like, "'Cause I care." Okay, I'll stop being a bitch. I'm sorry. Right? And then they apologize like, "I'm sorry. I was going through some shit back then, and I know I put a lot on you." And I was like, "It's okay. You just really made me mad." It made me really, really mad because it was like this thing of you completely disregarding that's what it was. I was talking about something that I was going through, and then they completely just disregarded what I said like they didn't care. And then they started talking about the same old bullshit that they talk about. And I was just like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm done with this shit. All you do is dump your heavy shit on me. And you expect me to be there and listen and listen. And it's the same fucking shit over and over. I'm sick of hearing it. That's what it was about. And they understood. They crossed the boundary. There's none of that shit like, oh, runner, chaser, like you'll be back. No. No. And I explained to them, I hold you to such a high degree of accountability. You know me. I know you. We are the same. I would never do that to you. And that's when they realized, like, I know I wasn't thinking about the way it was affecting you. Next time you want to hold someone as a twin, hold them to that standard. Hold them to that degree of accountability. They treat you poorly, they disregard you. Fuck you, I'm out. You don't got to be romantic with your twin. That caca you've been told where it's the ultimate relationship, ultimate connection. Do you like yourself? Serious question. Do you like yourself? Would you be your own best friend if you were not you? If you don't immediately answer yes, truthfully and confidently, you ain't got no business being with a twin, not even as a friend. You know why? Because your twin's supposed to be just like you, right? Right? If you can't deal with yourself, I promise you, you can't deal with a twin. I promise you. It ain't gonna work. You gonna hurt yourself. You're gonna hurt your feelings. You're gonna break your heart. You're gonna create trust issues within yourself. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I'm at a point where I know that um, if any of my twins that I've found want to be in a very deep, meaningful friendship with me, platonic friendship, I can handle that. Why? I kind of like myself at this point. I like the person that I've become. And I feel like I'm becoming more of the person that I would appreciate. Like I would hang out with myself if I wasn't myself. And it's not me being full of myself, it's me making progress in that self love journey. Yep. Yep. And I know I'm progressing because now if a twin irritates me, 'cause sometimes I irritate myself too. Yeah, true story. I know, right? Um, if a twin irritates me, I don't have to destroy them the way I normally would have had to years ago. I don't have to destroy them, just like I don't have to destroy myself when I make what I perceive to be a misstep, right? I had felt something towards another twin and I think they might have gotten breached or something. I was just like, I'm not feeling your vibe. And then Soul was like, just you cut off contact, not block them, but do not respond, do not reply because you don't want this to become even more. If they're already dealing with something parasitic, pull your energy back, let them address it. They're just as capable as you. And that's what I did. And it took, I don't know how many months that took. But then in the middle of a live stream, I was like, oh, I got a message. Hey, how are you doing? And it's all good. And I let them know. Like, if I ever disappear on you again like that, like, don't open anything, don't respond to anything, there's some fucked off shit happening with your energy. You need to address it. You need to address it. I will not withhold myself and pull all my energy back so long as it's safe for me to be in your proximity. When was the last time the person you're categorizing as your twin? When was the last time you could have that type of discussion, connection with them? And these are not people I'm interested in romantically. There is a very strong draw that is very platonic. Like, I've known you for many lifetimes. I know you would never intentionally hurt me, betray me, abandon me. I know you never would. I would never have to wonder, like, are you intention? No, no, you're not. I'm taking something in such a way because I'm triggered. It's triggering an existing trauma inside me. It's not you that's the issue. I'm being triggered. I don't have to attack you. You are not the enemy. You're not even an enemy, right? Right. If you can't have that degree of connectivity with someone um, who is a twin and have it remain platonic, no intentions of making it romantic, allowing things to unfold just as it is, I don't know that you're with a twin. I'm being absolutely serious. Yeah. And if you're very quick to be like, she ain't talking to me, I probably am. I mean it. I probably am. It's not something that's easy to hear and not something you want to hear, but oftentimes it's something that needs to be heard. It just, you need something to counteract, to serve as a counterweight for all of that caca that you have been dealing with, that you're being indoctrinated by from people's posts on social media. You need someone who cares enough to be honest, regardless of whether it triggers you or not. Stress Awareness Day. Assess if something's wearing you down or keeping you up. Time for a stress check. That's the notification that came through. Hey, we got to use some discernment. Okay. Whatever this is, whoever um, this is someone who has a capacity to help you level up. No, you are not to engage this person out of a need for a transactional relationship, transactional connection. This is something that will naturally occur due to the proximity, meaning you just are in each other's lives platonically. Um, Platonic conversations can lead to profound realizations that will help you to really begin to understand the gravity of what your soul is teaching you. Yep. But you have to be willing to listen. You have to be willing to allow yourself to receive whatever it is that you need to receive. And I think so long as you continue to avoid this, whether it's you or the cross watcher that I'm speaking to, it's going to prevent your ability to alchemically change your life. Your life needs to be alchemically changed. What does that mean? Well, oh, that's crazy. I just saw the size of my shirt. Um, it's a 8 to 10-year-old shirt. It's okay. It's okay. I was feeling all big and bad and shit. Like, oh my. It's okay for me to feel very small and bad. Okay, if I'm going to accept that I'm petite, I'm also going to accept that I'm badass. I'm like the baddest chihuahua you could ever come across. Ah. Okay. If you address this lack of ability to create alchemical change in your life by way of listening and discernment, right? Look. See, it's the two of you having conversation. It doesn't look like it's riveting conversation, but I promise it's profound. That's the two of you having conversation. If you allow that to happen, um, then you can begin to correct your upside down perceptions that will lead to a correction of your inability to create alchemical change in your life. When you create that alchemical change, what happens? You no longer repeat these same patterns. Life is about to change. If you want to be stuck in the same space of avoidance, which I admit, I was heavily in a space of avoiding the whole twin topic because I'm just sick of it. Um, I'm not necessarily sick of my twins that I have found. I'm sick of the distorted teachings that I consistently hear online. That's what I'm sick of. I've clarified this a few times over the years, but I don't know. I think people just think that I hate twins. I actually don't. I actually don't. I have a lot of love, like a lot of love towards all of my twins that I've found. It's not a romantic love, but it's a lot of genuine love and concern and compassion. Like, I want them to succeed to the utmost degree. I want them to be so happy. I want them to feel peace. I want so much goodness for them. All of them. All of them. That's why I'd be like, one of my twins started, he's like um, a major player in the I don't know if I should say it. He's a major player in the cannabis industry. Um, he does a lot of the advanced hybridizations and things like that. He helped create several strains that are so talked about, right? And he knows is very good friends with a lot of the OGs in that industry. And yeah, no, I remember one time he reached out with an update. He became a pastry chef, and I was like, ah, oh my god! And then, and then another time he reached out after that, and he's like, he launched his own canna company, and I was just like, bro, that's so fucking profound because he has such a relationship with plants. He's a phenomenal grower. He can grow anything. And it's actually my interactions with him that caused me to become aware of my ability to communicate with plants. Um, yeah, that's what twins do for you. Through regular interaction, regular communication, they help you learn more about yourself. There's nothing romantic between me and him at all. At all. Mm-mm, right? No, he does not work for Burner. No. Um, I can't I can't tell you guys the different strains that he's worked on and helped to develop because then um that would kind of give some people enough of a basis to try and begin looking for his identity. I know he wouldn't like that. So yeah. But yeah, no, it's actually a very fascinating story because he had a personal plant that he was growing for his own personal use. And then one day he totally I was like, "Oh my God, is your plant a girl?" And he's like, "Yeah. I love her like my daughter." And I was like, "Oh, she calls you dad." Yeah, and he's like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then she shows me that she loves when her dad comes and talks to her, and she shows me the positioning of the sun. It's not quite 12 o'clock, maybe it's like 11ish, 11 o'clock, because it's not completely above you yet, the sun. And he's like, "Oh shit!" And I was like, "Why? What?" And I'd never been to his house before, and he totally was like, yeah, no, I leave the house at like 10:45, 10:50, and I keep her in the front area, like his front patio area that's fenced off. And he talks to her before he leaves and he touches her leaves and he's like, you're my beautiful girl, and this and that. I was like, she loves it. He's like, oh shit. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, "Oh my God." And I was like, Did you grow her from seed?" And he goes, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, no, she's telling me how she came home with you. She said she was in a dark place and it was cold. And then she was placed somewhere warm. And I'm like, Did you put her in your front pocket? Like your shirt front pocket? Because she said she warmed up to the sound of your heart beating." And he goes, "Oh, fuck." Yeah. So he had her in an envelope and she was in the fridge for, I don't know what he said, stratification or whatever the hell it is. Keep it really cold, but not frozen. And I don't know. He tries to teach me about plants, and I'm just like, I don't fucking know, bro. This is too much. But he said when he took these hybridized seeds home, he put it in his front pocket to kind of help it defrost a little bit before he planted it. And he was tripping. I was like, oh my fucking God. Yeah. Yeah. So this is what twin interaction is supposed to do for you. It's supposed to be something that helps you learn more about yourself. It's not a sexual thing, you guys. It's not meant to be strictly romantic and boom chicka wow wow. Like you can boom chicka wow wow with whoever you want. You don't have to be in a relationship with your twin. The people who are in relationships with their twins, and I hope this doesn't offend anyone, but this is my understanding. Those who are in a relationship with their twin, they are the ones that have a very difficult time learning their lessons. They struggle really, really hard to learn these lessons that are slated for this lifetime. And so they have to be with their twin in a romantic partnership so that they can be in close physical proximity on a daily basis. You constantly need that because without that, you're not going to learn. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. That's not how I learned, so I don't need to be in a romantic relationship with a twin. Mm-mm. I don't need a reflection of my energy that close to me consistently because I tell you, I'll fight myself. Before. Now I'm not interested in fighting myself. I'm not. I'm interested in like being in a calm space. I'm interested in just learning more about myself, learning about the ways in which wounds still exist and finally tending to those wounds as I become much more empowered in my acceptance of self. So I know now I could maintain um a much healthier connection and proximity to twins than in the past because now I can face myself, right? Your life is about to change because I think what's happening right now for everyone, not just people who are, taking this reading as a twin flame reading, but for everyone, you're being given the opportunity to dive deeper into a space of courage to face yourself, not in a combative way. Okay. This is not about fighting with yourself. This is about being able to be okay with what you see, right? Being able to be okay with what you see. Like I see the spaces. Ooh. Oh Lord. 100% at 222, 113, 26, 53, 5. Mm. That was intense. That was intense. Um, Part of that had to do with a recognition that some of the cycles that I still cycle through from time to time is this space of density and being like a wild horse. Wild horses are extremely skittish, and I do have a proclivity for skittishness. Um, I'm skittish around other people. I'm very, very skittish around other people. And so it's this thing of being in a space of disbelief and miscommunication within myself. That right there, disbelief, miscommunication within myself, causing more of my shadow to come forward and creating a polarization of myself within myself, right? And knowing that there's nothing intrinsically toxic or intrinsically evil about being a wild woman, a wild horse. It gives me the ability to run faster right? That song by Bishop Briggs. Um, Wild horses run faster, run faster, run faster. Let me find the lyrics. Hold on. There's some other lyrics that I think y'all are needing to hear. Um, mhm, mhm. Okay. You hold me down in the best way. No quarter from these chains that I've slept on. My heart for a feeling. Why can't I let my demons out? So, yeah. You call my truth in the worst way through the dirty lands of a broken smile. And I swear I'm not a pretender. Sometimes it's love who's the baby's cry. What? I thought it was like sometimes it's love who's the biggest lie. I don't know. Right. Um, I keep on damning the devil and you keep on saying it's all right. Oh, glory, I'm a believer. Oh, Lord, I'm holding tight. So, whatever this process you're in, it's a process of developing a belief in yourself. It's a process of recognizing the things you hold within the density of your darkness, your shadow aspects. Those are the very things that are the most powerful things about you. Yes, this process is extremely inefficient, but it's oh so very effective. Are you in this process with a goal of doing it fast, expeditiously? Because I don't know that that's the best plan, right? I don't know that that's the best plan. I don't know that that's what the goal of soul actually is. I think for many of us, the goal that soul has for you is one of creating such a quality understanding of yourself. And as you begin to understand, you will begin to accept. A lot of the problem is that we don't want to understand ourselves. We want to force ourselves to accept ourselves. How can you accept what you do not know? You can't. So then instead of accepting yourself, you are accepting these forced caricatures of who you actually are, right? You need to create balance. And in that balance of being in both your light and your shadow, you will begin to develop an unconditional love of yourself. This unconditional love of the self is very much rooted in your understanding and acceptance of who you are in this life, how you are in this life. It's super important. This is super duper important. And I think for some of us, we can't go through this process without seeing a mirror of ourselves as they are in the throes of their own process. Hmm. Now is not the time to back away. Now is not the time to give up. Now is not the time to think that you can't handle what this is. I think for too many of us, we have this very erroneous, very distorted, and just flat out disempowering belief that we can't handle anymore. Yes, the fuck you can. I'm sorry. That was too aggressive. I be getting frustrated. I do. I get frustrated with that. I sometimes do that where it's like, I can't handle it. Yes, the fuck you can. Yes, you can. Today, I completely changed up my workout. Completely changed it up, did all sorts of exercises that I don't typically do. Some I've never done. And one of the exercises that I did, and I have problems with dysregulation of my core muscles, my erector spinae, the muscles in between your that run on either side of your spine, that give you an idea of your spinal positioning. Those are not, I don't have a very good connection to that. So I typically don't know if I'm crooked or what. Um, So that's something I'm always concerned that my core is weak. My core is weak. My core is weak. I can't do this. I can't do that. Like, calm the fuck down, Emmy. Try it. Try it. So what did I do today? I tried it. And what did I try? Um, I did a declined crunch. Yeah. So it's when you take one of those seats that decline so that your lower half is higher than your upper half. I was basically doing a sit up upside down, and I hooked my legs into the seat thinking like, okay, you could do two, try two. Just try to, just try it. Really babying myself, convincing myself that I can't do this, can't do that without saying it. Because, intellectually, I'm not going to allow myself to say it. Emotionally, I'm right there in that emotion. I can't do it. Yes, the fuck I can. So I was sitting there trying to convince, just do two. Just try two. See if you can do two first. Do the first one, and then you'll be able to know if you could do a second. Sometimes I irritate myself because I went and did the first one. It was easy as fuck. And I went and did 15. I was like, okay, stop. Just stop because you don't want to overdo it. And I was like, you know what? Calm the hell down, girlfriend. You're not in pain. You're not even breathing hard. You're good. You are fine. And I was fine. And I did several more sets. Several more sets. And I should have known I could do that because before I did that, I had that seat over at the Smith machine. And for the first time ever, because I be seeing my husband do this and he got pecs like a mofo. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay. He be so beastie. And I see him do this. And I'm just like, okay, today's the day I'm going to do a decline bench press. You're basically doing a bench press upside down. Right. So I go to rack the bar because I'm done and I'm a little too short because my torso is a little bit short. I have a shorter torso than I do legs. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to have to do a sit up to rack it properly. So I did a sit up perfectly fine with the weight of the bar and the weights that I have on the sides. And I didn't hurt myself. It wasn't even a challenge. I already showed myself that I'm capable of doing just more than an inclined or declined sit up with weights. Yet I was in this space of like, well, just do two and see if that's okay. Because you don't want to hurt yourself. I mean, you apply this to the way you treat your spiritual journey. Oh, I can't do this. I can't do that. Are you sure? Do you just not want to? Is it you can't do that or you don't believe in yourself? This is a huge difference. There was this one thing that I said before. It was this thing of um, people think you're incapable, but really you're simply unwilling. There's a difference. Are you incapable or are you unwilling? Which one is it? Because if you're incapable, that means you're absolutely willing. You're willing to try. You want so hard to do it, but you're just not capable. You're just not capable. That's okay. Keep working at it. It's okay. Or are you unwilling? You can do it. You just don't want to try. You don't want to put your effort into it because I mean, maybe it doesn't interest you. Maybe it's something that makes you feel as though you are disrespecting or disregarding your own needs. Maybe it's your reaction to someone forcing you, keeping you in a space of obligatory existence. I mean, you got to consider these things. Instead of always painting yourself in the worst light, sometimes you need to consider, are you doing this intentionally because someone is making you feel like this is the only way to make them stop, right? Oh, Maria. Maria says, yes, well, that is why I want to kidnap you. You slap me silly and I give you back to Frey, but you will remain my adopted daughter. And you wouldn't even need to kidnap me. I'd be like, honey, I'll be back. I'll be back, honey. I'm going with Maria somewhere. I'll be back in a couple hours. I'm serious. You wouldn't even need to kidnap me. Kidnapping carries the assumption that I'm against it. I'd be in your car already. Like, where are we going? Before you can even get out of the car, I'd be opening the door, entering the car. Like, where are we going today? So you just got to allow yourself. You got to allow yourself to sit in stillness so that you can become clear on why things are not going the way you want it to go. Why things are not going in the way you expect it to go. Is your expectation based on what someone else wants you to do versus what you want to do? Because if you're like me and I'm doing something based on what someone else wants me to do, most likely, I'm going to do it really, really like just begrudgingly. And that's going to affect the quality of what I'm doing. Right? Cosmic connection. So again, whoever this crotch watcher, whoever this crotch watcher is, you have a cosmic connection with them. That's a connection rooted in chaos. Cosmos is chaos. Part of its etymology is rooted in chaos. So this is a connection that's very chaotic, and I think part of the reason the connection is very chaotic is to give you an opportunity to choose to decide how to organize this, how to make sense of it. You're being put in the driver's seat, okay? There's hope for whatever this connection is. There is hope that it will lead you to an even deeper understanding of yourself. That's a very powerful gift that a soul connection can give you. Like, my husband has never asked me to change who I am, ever. He has never asked me to, demanded, guilted me, shamed me, or anything like that. Ever. Ever. He typically doesn't even say no to me. It's extremely rare for him to say no. Typically, if he's not in agreement with something, I got some cockamamie ideas often. It's true. It's true. I'm not in denial. I have these cockamamie ideas that just waft through my mind, in one ear, out the other. And typically what he'll do is he will tell me, well, you know what? You're going to do whatever you're going to do anyways. I'll ask him, hey, should I, blah, blah, blah. And he'll be like, you're going to do whatever you're going to do anyways. I don't even know why you're asking me. So then that's a no. He goes, I didn't say no, but you said what you said. Right? There's no need for me to be anyone other than myself. And that is a very healthy connection to have with a person who is connected to you in a cosmic way, in a soul-based manner. That's a very healthy connection to have, right? I don't tell my husband he needs to change. I tell him what is aggravating me. I tell him how certain behavior, certain words, I'm Piscean as fuck. If you exhale in the wrong way, you're going to hurt my feelings. With that, I do let him know, like, I don't want to be around that. Whatever that is. He's a Gemini. Mm-hmm. He's a Gemini. And so he does his Gemini things. And there are some times when he's too much in that Gemini energy, and I'll just be like, take me home. I don't want to be in the car with you. That's not very often these days. But I'll be like, I don't want to be in the car with you. I want to fucking hear this shit. I don't. And I'd be like, no, I'm not taking you home. I I don't want to hear you talking about how the person crossing the street is not crossing the street to your liking. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear you talking to the other drivers who can't hear you talking about their driving. They can't even hear you. I don't want to hear about it. I feel the energy of it. I feel your frustration. It's putting me in a badass mood, and I don't want to be around it. And then he will shift his mood. You want me to be in the car with you to run errands? I don't want to be around that. I don't. That doesn't mean I don't love him, but that means I don't want to be around that. I remember one time my husband be so gracious with me. One time he had cupping done. He had cupping done and then like where the cups were, it started to ooze a little bit. And they say that when that happens with cupping, you have a lot of toxicity and it's being drawn out dermally. And I saw the cupping and how it had oozed, and I was like, oh my God, are you okay? I was really concerned, like, are you okay? And he goes, yeah, they said it was my toxicity coming out. You said I'm toxic. And I was like, "No, you're not. You're not really toxic. Just sometimes when you talk shit to people in the car, I don't wanna hear it." And he was cracking up, and I was just like, "You're not toxic." I felt so bad. I felt again, I'm Piscean. I'm Piscean. I don't ask him to not be himself, but I do let him know the boundaries that I can tolerate and I just don't wanna be around. Like, he's not always like that. And these days, it's not very often that he does that where he's just talking shit. I swear to God to every single car, and I'm just like, I don't wanna hear no more. I don't wanna hear it. I just don't wanna hear it, right? He doesn't really do that much. Mm-mm. So you don't hear me telling him, "Take me home. I don't wanna be in the car with your ass." And be like, "Why? 'Cause you're fucking toxic." Yo, it's a Gemini thing. It is. It's a Gemini thing. I know all you Geminis, you be talking shit in your head. You might not say it out loud. He's all up in his Gemini energy. He says it out loud to me. I'm just like, I don't want to hear that shit. But now it's this thing of like, if he's all up in that Gemini energy and he be in his Gemini mood and he won't say anything, I'm like, what's wrong? Because I can feel it still. Even if he don't say nothing, I can feel it still. I'm like, what's wrong? And he's like, what? I'm just having Gemini problems. And I'm like, mm-hmm. You talking shit in your head silently, aren't you? Hmm. You are, aren't you? He'll laugh. He'll laugh because yep, it is a car guy thing. It is. And I accept that now, right? It's not his job to insulate me from everything that I feel. And because he tries to accommodate, it put me in a space where, okay, I don't think it's fair that I be trying to control the energy of the car in that way. So maybe what I need to work on is my understanding of how I allow things outside of me to affect my internal circumstance. This is the way that my husband has helped me to grow so much over the years. And no, he's not a twin, but he is the absolute most healthiest man I've ever, ever allowed myself to love. Don't listen to people when they tell you you need to be with someone because of what? Some soul connection? For all y'all know, that person could have murdered you in a past life. I know they could have. A lot of the people in the past that I've been really drawn to, not in a romantic way, but really drawn to, like, oh my God, you're so familiar. I'm like, later on, finding out these mofos schemed to have me unalived in that previous life. Mm hmm. Mm hmm. Yep. Think about that. Sometimes the familiarity you feel towards people. is because they did something to you and you haven't forgotten. You haven't forgotten who they are, right? Yeah. Lisa says, every Gemini I know, and I know something is bothering them, and I ask you, okay? Every single time, answer is, I don't want to talk about it. Yeah. Yeah. You have to be on a whole nother level of being held by a Gemini for them to talk to you about it. Unfortunately, they're, yeah. Yep. Yeah. And the more you try and get them to talk about it, the more they will not talk about it. It is. My husband's asking what happened. I was sharing with them how, like, all those times where I was like, "Oh my god, I think I've known them from a past life." Come to find out, these motherfuckers killed me then. They killed me. Because then they start showing their true face. I mean, people can only hide for so long the type of dynamic that was held in that previous life. They can only hold that back for so long. And then you begin to see the reality of who they are. They have this ridiculous disdain for you. You haven't even done anything. They have a disdain for you. And I'm like, what did I do? Because you didn't die right away in the previous life. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's happened a few times. Hmm. I had one trying to convince me I'm a trusted one. No, the fuck you ain't. No, the fuck you ain't. Trusted one, my ass. Mhm. Anyways, emotions are in reverse. So, whatever this life change is, you're fighting it. You're fighting it. Your emotions are getting the best of you. And I'm wondering if your emotions are really nothing but you being triggered because you can't control this. You can't control them. You can't control this and making you feel some kind of way. You have a struggle with feeling disempowered. And so you externalize that, you know? We were oh, yeah, we were no, he doesn't have road rage. He's not that kind of person, but he talks a lot of shit. Not so much these days, though. Not so much these days, probably because he gets all of that aggression out at the gym. We are also talking about your pec development, babe. We were talking about your pec development. I know, it's because he likes to tinker on cars, and when someone don't drive like they're going down the quarter mile, it offends his soul. I'm just like, worlds within worlds. It's in reverse. So whatever's being held internally, it's about to be allowed to come out externally. You know, you're about to feel this. And until you allow yourself to truly recognize what it is you're feeling, your abundance is not coming in. Your abundance is not going to come in. Tinkle? Tinker. No, he likes to tinker. He's a grease monkey. He likes to work on vehicles, not tinkle. We're not part of the Golden Shower Club. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. That's like no. No, no, no. No, no, no. Um so galactic assistance. Okay. Y'all are vexing the aliens for those of you who are dealing with a cosmic connection and you're not willing to allow. The aliens are about to come down and assist you. um okay, for some of you this galactic assistance is going to come in the form of an energetic download. You're going to be receiving information in a not so cognitive manner. maybe in dreams, maybe signs, things like that. Look for those things, okay? Look for those things and try and make sense of it. Hidden moon in reverse. Whatever you're trying to hide from yourself is about to come out in the open. Oh my God. So your cross watcher is about to just flare up. Mhm. They're about to flare up and just like spill the beans about their feelings for you. I don't know if they're going to spill the beans to you. Um, I don't know if they're going to spill the beans to you. Do you want them to spill the beans to you? I mean, I'm reactive to legumes. I really can't have beans. I do sometimes anyways, but it's not like I'm going to die off of it right away. It just causes inflammation, don't worry. But I don't know. They're going to spill the beans though. I don't know. I don't know if it's to you. I'm wondering if they're going to spill the beans to people in their life. And that's what's going to give them the courage to really just be like, all right, it's time for me to reach out. I don't know. Yes. Thank you for the reminder, Lindsay. I think for many of you or some of you, what you need is an I will mofo kit. This is to really just remove these soul ties that people are trying to they're trying to plug into you and your energy and drain you. No, don't allow that. You know what I will mofo stands for? You know what an I will mofo kit is? You know what it stands for? You want me to tell you for those that don't remember because I said it before in a live stream. I will mofo stands for I wish a motherfucker would. That's what it stands for. That's the name of the kit. It is the I wish a motherfucker would kit because it's designed and programmed to extract succubus, incubus uh, connections from your life. You can't ever leave these burning unattended. They're chime candles, so they burn in a few minutes. You can't ever leave these unattended because they burn crazy. Especially if you have like a really parasitic type of connectivity with someone and you don't know if it's parasitic or not. This, if it burns crazy AF, that's burning up all the black shit, the dark magic shit that's being sprinkle. We don't like those sprinkles. They're nasty. So I think for some of you, I think what's happening is that you're being made aware there is this degree of toxicity that's in your life. And if you allow yourself to address that and see the ways in which it's halted your progression, right? So we're kind of shifting gears. There's two types of energies that are being spoken about, and they're very completely different from each other. So one, remember, is like healthy. They don't want to impose. They don't want to be disrespectful. And the other one is just like they keep trying to force and force and force. They keep trying to shame. They keep trying to this. They keep trying to that. And it becomes something that is now so intolerable that you're here watching this live stream because your soul is like, cut that shit out of your life. I'm just saying that will help you to cut it out of your life. If you allow yourself to recognize the ways in which whatever this connection is, you have somehow allowed the continuation. Not saying it's your fault, but I am saying you're not innocent in this. Okay. You've allowed some of that to persist. I would say for many empaths, you've allowed that to persist because, because you don't want to be rude. You don't want to hurt their feelings. Let me tell y'all. Let me tell y'all. You know what happened when I did that? You know what happened when I did that? I let someone continue with their inappropriate bullshit. And I just never answered it. Yeah, no, I'm now still in the middle of a criminal case in a whole ass other country several thousands of dollars in legal fees just to help this fucking cockamamie person understand you are not Jesus. I am not Mary Magdalene. I don't belong to you. We are never going to be together. We are not twin flames. We are not any of that. Leave me the fuck alone. I should have just nipped that shit in the bud right away. But see, empath, oh, they probably don't have anyone. They probably don't have any friends. Just don't worry. Just ignore it. Just don't answer it. Let them release. Let them vent there. Oh, they're harmless. No more. No more. If you don't want someone to remain connected, attached, siphoning from you, manipulating you, you cut off all access. Not, oh, but it's just, no, all access. Make it very, very clear. Make it very, very, very clear. Very clear. So that kit that I was showing you guys, that has etched into it because I'd be like remembering like crazy ass shit from previous lives. That kit has etched into it, into the candles, the sigils of the specific beings that are tasked with addressing incubus and succubus energy. That's why it's effective. It's very effective. It's not a cord removal. And the things you guys see on social media where you tie twine between two candles, that's not a cord removal. That's a diagnostic ritual. It's to show you who is pulling from the other, who is the dominant energy, who is being destroyed, depleted by that connection. That's not the ritual that you think it is, that people are saying it is. It's not. It's just not. I just have very distinct memories and understandings of these things. So, galactic heritage. I think because you don't remember a lot of the different things that you've endured, encountered, learned in previous lives, and most likely don't even remember what this connectivity is with this toxic person, you are continuing to allow them to have access to you. And again, we have to be careful about blaming. This is not about taking this opportunity to blame yourself. This is absolutely about recognizing the ways in which um, you have passively allowed whatever the situation is to continue. It needs to be halted so that your energy can be used to manifest the good things, the things you actually want. Now, switching to the other energy, because again, there's two energies that are very, very different, right? The other energy, they've been afraid to change. They've been afraid that they haven't changed enough, as well as being afraid to change. They're very upside down in their perception of how the two of you connect. And it's greatly interfering with their ability to heal so that there can be a friendly connection that will help you both, that will give you access to each other so that you can address a lot of the different life lessons that are being presented. There are some life lessons that you must do alone. There are also some life lessons that absolutely require specific individuals to actively participate. Mhm. You can't do everything alone. Just like you can't do everything with other people present. There are some things you have to do alone. There are some things you need specific people present for. Okay. And then that's when you begin to enter into the different contracts, like soul contracts. I was going through my notes and hold on. Yikes. contracts. Hold on. Um, let's see. Okay. Oh Lord. I don't know where it is. Here. Let's see. Nope, not gonna find it. Not gonna find it. That's okay. Maybe, maybe at some point we can go over the different types of soul contracts, um, during a podcast with Ocean Lover. I know quite a few people have asked me over the last several weeks about the different types of soul contracts that are existing: Paladorian contracts, soul contracts, contracts that are renegotiable, contracts that are ironclad. There's so many different nuances in these contracts. And I think for those who subscribe to contractual agreements on a soul based level, um, you got to be careful about that, because then it becomes this thing of an obligatory process rather than a process that causes you to grow exponentially. And there are highly manipulative, toxic people who will use those concepts to ensnare you, to force you into a space of going along with what they say, right? Um, you got to be very, very careful about that. Um, yeah. I personally know individuals who have tried to heavily manipulate me. Oh, and I'm aware. And I hope those people see this live stream. I'm aware. And they're like, oh, we have a Paladorian contract. And yeah, no, the fuck we don't. No, we don't. You heard that or Googled that from somewhere, and now you think you can use that to force me to do what you want. No, the fuck you can't. No, we have a okay. And if I don't agree, what are you gonna do? What you gonna do? Not a goddamn thing. You guys have to remember that. People can't force you to do something. They can't. And maybe that's how your life changes. Maybe you're someone who feels forced to do things by others, like heavily forced. And you don't know how to say no. You don't know how to walk away. You don't know how to address that. Um, I just told you how. You could easily be like, and if I don't, what will you do? If I don't, what will you do? What happens if I don't? I've flat out asked people that before. What will happen if I don't? Yeah, no, because I don't want to. I'm not going to. So what are you going to do? And then they feel some kind of way, but they don't really know what to say, because a lot of it is an empty threat. Okay. So when you feel the need to pull away, when you feel the need to disconnect, do it. You don't got to explain yourself. Now, for me, if you mean a lot to me, right? If you are someone that I cherish, I'll probably let you know in advance, like, hey, um, I'm just gonna be quiet for a little bit. Like, there's nothing wrong. I just kind of need to decompress. I'm overstimulated by social media. So I'm gonna log out for a few days. You know how to reach me if you need to reach me. Just out of consideration, not because you're obligated to explain and get permission from someone. People who get offended that you are pulling back to tend to your needs, um, how honest you guys want me to be? Really honest? I'll be really honest. Those are toxic ass people who don't belong in your life. I said that. I did. It's true. It's accurate. It's true. I've had more than my fair share of people like that. And I have never been able to do enough to appease that bottomless pit of a connection. You have to be able to acknowledge when your relationship with someone is a transactional relationship where they consistently need something, where they only reach out when they need something, right? So, when you're in that type of connection, there's really no progression that takes place. There is no progression that takes place. I hope you're okay, gays. I saw your comment. Card number 14, natural endings. They need to be allowed to end. Those type of connections. For the healthy cross watcher who is just as skittish as you are about approaching you, what you need to allow to end is your fear of rejection, your fear of abandonment. You need to allow yourself to really begin to make some progress with your self-healing journey. It's time. It's really just time for everyone to allow themselves to go through and heal. Okay? So, we're going to go ahead and pick 1, 2, or 3. Okay? Whatever you choose, put #1, #2, or #3. It's going to be kind of like a mini reading for you. Yeah, we're going to use this deck. I've been really feeling this deck. So #1, #2, or #3. Do you guys enjoy when I do this semi personal reading for y'all? I'm like, I don't know if it helps people. I don't know. We gonna see though. We're gonna see. All right. #1, 2, or 3. Hey, Jem. All right. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Are you guys ready? You ready? You hear that? I'm shaking the demons out of the cards. No whammy, no whammy, no whammy, big bucks. I want you guys to get good stuff, okay? No whammy, no whammy, big bucks, big bucks. All right. Shall we start with card number 3 because I consistently start with 1? We'll start with 3. We'll go backwards today. Okay, we're gonna flick the demons out, flick the negativity out. Okay. Ooh, Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. Okay, let's see. #1, 2, or 3. Here goes. These are for the people who picked number 3. Okay. Lunar eclipse, change. 3 things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. Oh, damn. I don't know how this is going to turn out because I don't have the cards memorized, but I feel it. I feel it in the chest. A lunar eclipse takes place when the earth is directly aligned between the sun and the moon. The earth blocks out the sun's light, causing the moon to be in the earth's shadow. This can only happen during a full moon. And while a solar eclipse lasts only for minutes, the lunar eclipse lasts for hours. Ancient peoples were extremely frightened by eclipses because they believed a great serpent was taking bites out of the sun and the moon. So the moon is what's hidden, and the sun, the sun has a tendency to be seen as different things by different people, right? I think a lot of what needs to happen is we need to begin seeing the sun for what it is. And what is that? Well, my understanding of the sun, and I don't know if you'll find literature somewhere else regarding this. I don't know. But my understanding of the sun is that it is an energetic repository that holds the excess consciousness of yours that cannot be embodied in the physical form, because that would then begin to accelerate molecular compaction. It would affect genetic expression um, of your genes and all of that different stuff. So the serpent taking a bite out of your sun, it's like something taking parts of your consciousness and consuming it, taking a bite out of the moon, taking morsels out of what you don't allow yourself to recognize. I think this has a lot to do with your awareness of what's happening, or your decision to almost like bury your head in the sand, maybe not fully, and maybe not for all things. If you do bury your head in the sand, I think it's for the most important things that you're avoiding. Oh, that's not good. Um, but I could also see how that in moderation can be you kind of getting a break from such intense cycles of learning. Um, Okay, so now Michael has entered the house. Michael is over here talking about how, for some, the intense cycles of learning, if you feel like, God, it's nothing but intense cycle after intense cycle, it's because you're not taking the quiet time that's necessary, that you are being given, that space in between. You're not taking that time to process and purge from the previous cycle. So it's like you put your dirty clothes in the washing machine, the cycle ends, and you just leave it there. And you're like, oh my God, I left it there for too long. Now it's going to smell mildewy. So let me just add more of my new dirty clothes into that washing machine, and I'll just wash everything again. Except you never actually take it out and dry it. Instead, you just keep adding more and more clothes, and you're wondering why your washing machine is running the way it is. Because, boo, you need to process and purge. You need to allow yourself to process what's happened and purge it. A lot of us think that we are processing, but in reality, we're not. In reality, all we're doing is processing just enough to be able to stop crying, to stop feeling such an intensity in the negative emotions. I thought I was processing a lot of life, and I wasn't. What I was doing is what I just explained. I was processing just enough to be able to remain productive. And for those who are empathic, for many empaths, you are damn good at hiding what's actually happening. You are damn good at it. And hey, that's not a good thing. I know, I'm sorry. I know. At first it sounded like a compliment. It wasn't. It wasn't. Um, yeah, you gotta stop. You gotta stop hiding from yourself. I'm sure there's maybe at least one, two, three people, handful of people. I don't know. There are those in your life that you could actually process these things out loud to. And you should. You should. So that you can fully process it. Like this morning, um, my husband and I were sitting in the garage for a few minutes, and mhm, um, there I go, being an empath. I was processing something difficult, you know? I was processing something difficult that was not necessarily a bad thing, but it felt very, very intense, right? And with that intensity and the need to kind of process and speak it out loud, speaking it out loud gave me the opportunity to begin purging some of that unnecessary guilt that stems from distortion, a distorted perception, right? So now it's like, okay, I can let some of that go. I can allow myself to take ownership of some of the things that have happened that make me feel some sadness and disappointment in myself. Um, and understand that, I did not know then. That does not absolve me from my chosen actions, but at least I can acknowledge, like, yeah, because I didn't know and I chose option A. These were the effects of option A. I didn't like those effects. So next time I need to pause and really consider that there are options A, B, C, D, all the way up to Z. I didn't realize there were those other options. I didn't realize there were those other things needing to be considered, factored in before I chose whatever I chose. Right. So it's like that where you need to really process what you've lived through. I think for many of us, we haven't processed the things we've lived through all the way through to childhood, you know, all the way through to childhood. And guys, if you're feeling very, very emotional for the past, I don't know, like week or so at this point, yeah, no, a lot of people are. A lot of people are. Having these few moments of just kind of privately breaking down in tears for no reason, seemingly. It's not for no reason. There's a lot of trauma that has been allowed to surface, and maybe you're still blinding your awareness to those traumas. And even though you're blinding yourself, you're still feeling it. And as that trauma gets released, you'll feel very emotional and cry. And you'll be like, oh my God, where is this coming from? It's a trauma that you don't want to see. You don't want to relive that. And, your soul is like, that's okay. You don't have to look, but it does need to be processed. It needs to be purged. And as part of that purging, you're required to feel some of the emotions that are connected to it. Right. Um, Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. 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 Okay, let me just read from the book. um it clicked so that we're still on card number 3, right? Right. So eclipses can bring on times which seem shadowy and disordered, but they are not necessarily bad and should not be viewed as such. We're meant to be thrown off balance to make necessary changes. It is a time of seeing the light and focusing on something you have either put off or didn't exactly notice was coming up. So, this is what we just talked about, right? This is what we just talked about. When the lunar eclipse card presents itself in a reading, dramatic changes are in store. Such changes will likely be unexpected ones, the kind that might seem hard or will take some special effort on your part. Michael's laughing. Michael's laughing. He's like, you're doing good. You're doing good, little one. These will not be gradual, easy, barely noticed transformations. Your world may be rattled somewhat. It will seem more like a revolution. Do not be alarmed, however, because this altering of your life is essential in getting you where you need to be. We are all here to share our gifts and lead others to theirs. It's never an easy path. Any number of things might happen. The ending or beginning of a transformative relationship, not necessarily sexual. Relationships can be platonic. Okay. A change in life's path or job, or a change in where you live. Whatever it may be, it will be abrupt. Lunar eclipses herald times of a new way of looking at things. That is why they can even bring on changes in eyeglass or contact lens prescriptions, or if you're lucky, a marked improvement in your eyesight. The moon also has a connection to the brain. Thus, you may find yourself more in tune with unseen energies or experience moments of revelation. Whatever the issue, it's been brewing for a while and things are about to bubble over. It could be a partner or a would be partner who wishes to take a relationship to a new level. Since the moon symbolizes our emotions, you probably already sense what this change should be and will not be completely surprised by it. But the force and dramatic nature of the shift may be unexpected, right? Expect to be thrown off balance. If the situation is something you've taken for granted and it collapses, then you will need to make a new start. In any event, you should start to see these effects within the next 6 weeks and expect for an outcome to be completed within 6 months. This card also indicates cycles, and whatever seems lost at this time, you can be assured will return to you, perhaps in a different form, but most certainly better. So, that was card number 3. And you just got to be ready. You got to process and purge the old stuff because some new stuff is about to be layered on top. And that new stuff that's layered on top has a capacity to dissolve everything that's underneath it. If you don't begin processing, what could potentially happen is you could potentially become ridiculously overwhelmed with everything kind of becoming congealed, liquefaction, liquefied, and then congealed as a big mess. Okay. So, do with it what you will. Um, at the end of the day, you have the final say in what you will do and how you will experience the end result of what you do. I 100% believe this. You have the final say. And if at some point after you've made a decision, you realize, okay, maybe this wasn't the best decision, you can change your mind. You're allowed to change your mind. You don't have to see something all the way through when you already see, like, this is not going to end well for me. You can change your mind. You know that, right? If you didn't, now you do. You can change your mind. Don't be scared. You can make decisions, see some of that progression, and then be like, I think I need to change directions. I think I need to decide something else, choose a different option. Especially if you begin to feel, sense that whatever this is something that is a repeat of old cycles, right? You absolutely can change your mind. Yes, thank you. Please do. Card number 37. Okay. So, ooh, and I wrote here gaslighting. Okay. I finally found what went wrong. Don't don't want to feel you. Don't want you on my mind. Sometimes I stim by singing. That's when my senses become overloaded. So, for those of you who are not too familiar with me, it's just, yeah, no, I'm not trying to be a singer. I'm stimming. I got the tism. I do. I have Asperger's. Anyways, card number 37, fire element, desire. Passion, though a bad regulator, is a powerful spring. So for those who picked card number 2, this is your information. There are changes coming, new movement. Look for them to be quick. So no matter what, changes are coming. Whether you pick 2 or 3, changes is coming, baby boo. The element of fire in astrology is all about beginnings, our passions, and how fast we get our energy moving. It speaks to how rapidly we react and how long it takes us to accomplish what we set out to do. Fire is burning determination. fire scorches away impurities, clearing a landscape for new growth and leaving an area healthier and stronger. Okay, sometimes you have this moment, this period of just setting everything on fire, setting everything ablaze. That's probably because to some degree, you're knowing that things, the blockages that are there need to be cleared out. They need to be allowed to reintegrate with the soil so that whatever new things you plant will have the appropriate nutrition, appropriate support to come into full fruition. Let's see. When this card is involved, expect changes to be dramatic in an unforgettable way. You know, you know. mm. So I'm heavy in the water signs in my chart. I have some air in there. And then here comes my soul planet, which is Mars. So it's like no matter how much water is in there, it's just going to become steam because you have that little bit of air that then fans the flames of my soul planet. Oh, girl, it's okay. I'm talking to myself. It's okay. You're a little bit rowdy sometimes. You'll be okay. A situation is about to be transformed through a wake up call or a personal epiphany. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Um, be ready. Wake up calls are often very jarring. Okay. So be ready. Be ready. The element of fire is spirit moving and a great indicator of creativity. So now is a time to apply your energy wholeheartedly. Once you have that wake up call, once you have that epiphany, you got to put your shoulder behind it and push. Okay. That's not the time for you to be like, oh my God, what did I do? What did I do? Oh, you can feel that, but keep pushing as you're like, what did I do? Right? You could keep pushing. A wonderful analogy of this for the first time ever, and this was a while ago, for the first time ever, I had a grease fire. I was cooking and it was a grease fire. And luckily my brain like clicked on and it was like, no, you're not using water. No, 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 no. You got to choke that out. You got to choke that out. Put the lid on top of it. It'll cut all the oxygen. Choke it out. Don't spread it, right? And while I'm running through the list of things that I could do as options, we did have a fire extinguisher, but I didn't want to make a bigger mess. And I was like, no, and no, don't put a rag over it. You're going to burn through the rag. So it was very fast. Boom, 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 boom. All these different options. Cover it, choke it out. And as I was having all of these considerations of ways to extinguish the developing inferno in the kitchen, I was like, oh my God, oh my God. Yeah. And I covered it and it was out. And it was like, oh, thank God. Thank God that I was panicking, yet still a fragment of me was like possible solutions. Option A through G. Yeah, no, we're putting on the pot cover. And we're gonna leave it on. Because I put it on there for a second and then I took it out thinking it was enough and it wasn't. And the fire just flared back up and I was like, put it back on. Leave it there. Leave it there. Contain it. Leave it there. And the whole time I was yelling, oh my God, oh my God. Yeah, no, it got addressed. It got addressed successfully, no damage to any of the kitchen. The food was no longer edible though. It just was not. Um, so that's one of the things that you need to do. You need to put your shoulder behind it and really push. Okay. Look at your issue from another perspective and try a unique approach. This card also denotes honesty and suggests you act assertively. You're about to get upfront with someone or vice versa. At least you should. Excuse me. Ooh, confrontation. Do you need to confront someone? Do you need to have a confrontation? I mean, is it necessary? I think you need to prepare yourself now, right? You have to ask yourself, is there a confrontation that's necessary? Um, I don't know. I think for most, I don't feel like a confrontation is necessary. I feel like there is something that's trying to get you to think and see things in a semi distorted way. I think there might need to be a correction, but a full on confrontation, um, I don't think so. I think for people who chose number 2, you might be entering into a space of being tested. Not tested to remain patient and therefore allowing inappropriate behaviors, inappropriate approaches, inappropriate access to you. I don't feel that. I feel tested as in you've had issues before in the past where you didn't say something when you needed to, or maybe you needed to say something and you went all the fucking way when you shouldn't have, right? So you need to temper that. You need to make sure that your response is appropriate. Um, this card says to push it. Push it only if it needs to be pushed. Only if it needs to be pushed. Not everything needs to be pushed. In any event, you will soon understand where you stand as all your cards will be put on the table. Then you can expect less mystery. I think that right there is indicative of how some people they'll keep you feeling like you're on eggshells. You got to tiptoe around certain things because um, you don't really know where you stand with them. And again, not necessarily encouraging you to be flat out confrontational, but being able to just speak openly, like, I'm not sure if you understand how you're making me feel right now. And I think it's something that I need to make you aware of because it's really bothering me. And I don't want it to continue bothering me to the degree that it affects our connection, our relationship, our friendship, whatever it is. And if they can't take those types of communications where what you're really asking for is an open line of communication where you can share with them the effects they're having on you, whether it's intentional or unintentional. I don't know, but you're needing them to know that there's something going on. It's affecting you. And let's talk about it. And if they can't talk about it, if they're going to do this fake nice bullshit of like, oh, I didn't know, but they don't really want to address it. They want to instead go behind your back and be like, oh my God, they're such a bitch. Get them the fuck out of your life. I'm absolutely serious. And no, you don't got to explain anything. You need to just understand. They lack the maturity. They are not interested in peaceably discussing things or taking accountability for their behavior or any of that. Know exactly where you stand with them at that point. And where is that? Not on a platform of reciprocal appreciation and respect. That's not, no, no. Mm-mm. I once had a circumstance where I had already been feeling things, and I was already, having a lot of frustration and being put in a very odd situation. And so I finally had to say something, which it was a question like, hey, what's going on? Because, X, Y, and Z has affected me in this specific way. What's happening here? And that person's response told me everything. It confirmed everything. First, you lack the willingness or the ability to regard me in a reciprocal manner. You don't respect me and cherish me the way I do you. And for you to become so defensive just because I asked a question, it wasn't even accusatory. Like I needed clarity, I needed understanding. And for you to launch a full scale like attempt to attack me, my character, my ability to be a friend, my generosity, uh, lodging all of these accusations because I asked you a fucking question. All right. I know exactly where I stand with you. This is transactional as fuck. You're using me and I'm making excuses for you. There's no discussion after that. It's not a misunderstanding. I had to be honest with myself in that time. That was not a misunderstanding. They finally got to the point where they saw an opportunity to unload all of these distorted perceptions of me. Go ahead, unload it. Thank you for letting me know. You will not be a part of my life. You will not be a part of projects. You will not be a part of anything that I do. You just, we don't need to discuss nothing. Do you want to give me a week to calm down? I'm not even, I'm not even riled up. I'm not even trying to argue with you. Just thank you for showing me everything that I needed to see to confirm what I had already been feeling on an empathic level. I'm very sensitive to other people. I just don't say anything. I'm very, very sensitive to that. Not sensitive as in like you can easily hurt my feelings. Sensitive as in I can sense people's intentions with me. I can sense how they regard me. I can sense when someone is just tolerating me, when someone is, they really have a disdain for me, but they do the fake nicey thing. I don't do that shit. I don't do fake nice. I can be civil. Um, and then for the rest, I will just kind of avoid. And I don't avoid because I'm afraid. I'm avoid because I know I'm highly capable of confrontational circumstance. And is it necessary? No, because it's not my place to convince someone that they're wrong and a bad person because they're not compatible with me. It is absolutely my place and my obligation to myself to recognize when someone is not compatible with me. And so I need to leave them in their peace so that I can remain in my peace. Right? That's why I say it's you have to be careful about thinking and receiving this message as though you're being encouraged to be highly combative, highly confrontational. I don't know that that's what you need right now. I think a lot of what's happening is you're very, very susceptible to the effects of all of this dissonance that's occurring globally. And as you're affected by that, it's going to greatly affect the way your emotions are interpreted by you. You're feeling something. You are. I feel like you're aware that you're feeling something. Um, but what's the root of that? I don't know that you're fully aware of what the root is. And if it's not rooted in the person who is triggering you, uh, I don't know that it's fair for you to kind of like put it all on that person. Yes, that person is triggering you. They're triggering parts of you that are having a negative reaction to their behaviors, their words, their energy, whatever it is, right? But is everything you're feeling because of that person that's triggering you? Probably not. You're probably seeing a lot of things on social media, feeling a lot of things, and that is affecting you. And now, because you're triggered, you're projecting all of that that's coming from different locations, different sources. You're projecting it onto one person. I don't think that's right. That's going to create more problems for you than is necessary. Okay. So be careful about being too eager to be confrontational. Watch out for bossy people when this card comes up. It can indicate a type of bulldozing that will be hard to deal with. Others may claim they are speaking to you from a place of truth and concern, whereas they may not understand the situation very well and not offer the best advice. So you got to be careful about that too, because um, oftentimes it's the people who have no room to be talking about specific topics that will talk the most. Uh-huh. Like, for example, and this one is kind of a no-brainer for me, but it doesn't seem like it's common sense for everyone. There are those, I remember there was this one person that I was newly introduced to. Um, like this was the very first time we were meeting. And it's someone that has a lot of opinions. I could already tell. And I was just like, okay, um, I sense your energy and I don't think we're going to be compatible, but it's okay. We can be civil. This is the first time we're meeting. Would you be civil? They happened to meet my children, and I believe it was like a Friday night. Friday night. And secondly, my children are homeschooled. I don't do traditional parenting. My parenting is based on what will empower my children's autonomy and sovereignty over themselves the most. It's not always the easiest parenting, but I feel like it's the healthiest for the way my children already are. And it was maybe like 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night. And this person who doesn't have any children, that should tell you everything right there. They don't have any children, but they do have a dog. Um, was like, "Do you not do bedtimes?" No, we don't. They're like, "Oh, what is that? Oh, what is that? Oh, 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 because you put your dog in a crate by 7 p.m. My children aren't dogs. They're not puppies. They're not pets. My children are autonomous. They have learned self regulation, meaning there are some days where they decided that their body needed to rest in the afternoon and they decided to take a nap. And therefore, it's 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. They're still not yet tired. And they will communicate to me, "I'm going to stay up a little bit longer, mommy, because my body is not tired yet." Okay. Make sure you don't stay up too late because then you're going to set a pattern of being tired during the day and awake all night. You don't want that either. And there will be days where 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night, they're like, "I'm really tired. I need to go to bed." Okay. Do you want to sleep here on the couch? Or you want me to go upstairs with you already so you have company? Right? They're self regulatory, right? They know when they're hungry. I don't dictate to them, "You need to eat now." They're self regulatory. You see, children become adults, and the type of adult they become is highly contingent on the type of child they're allowed to be. And when you are not allowed to be yourself, then as an adult, you don't know who you are. And when you become accustomed to someone controlling every aspect of your autonomy, you learn to not think for yourself. You learn to do as you are told. And I'm not raising followers. I'm the mother of future leaders. So they learn about autonomy, self regulation, compassion, empowerment, justice, fairness, all of those things. They learn through simple conversation, not through lectures, but through simple conversation, right? Simple conversation. Because in my eyes, they're already my equal. They just need some years for their body to catch up, but they've always been my equal, right? It's always the people who have no room to talk that talk so much. Those are the people you need to learn to ignore. Let them say whatever they're going to say. You don't have to correct them. You don't have to engage them. You don't have to do anything except choose to remain in your peace. There will be people who will try and force engagement. They want you to react. They want this to be about them. Is it about them? Or is this a process of yours that you are in? Because if it's a process of yours that you are in and you feel that they are not contributing anything to the expansion and deeper rooting of your peace, they don't need to be involved. They just don't. It's your life. There was someone who was really upset with something I posted. I don't even remember what it was that was posted, but the person was totally like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you posted this because, you know, you need to let people help you." Uh, I'm sorry. What is this even about? Because I know it ain't about me. You're so invested in this. What are you trying to convince me of? And they go on to talk about how um, their boyfriend or something like that won't allow them to help their boyfriend, and their best friend won't tell them when things are happening because they don't want them to help, and they need to be allowed to help. Okay, that sounds like a you problem though. That sounds like a you problem, and to be more specific, it sounds like you have a problem with not being the center of attention, and you are so fucking selfish to use someone else's circumstance and struggle to pump yourself up. That's what I'm reading. It's like, "Oh, no, that's not what I said." Yes, that's what the fuck you said. Boo. When your own boyfriend and your best friend don't want you involved in their life, I don't think they're the problem. I think the problem is you're not allowing yourself to see you have problems. You need to stop commenting on other people's posts and begin some introspection. I'm sure you're a lovely person, but you're not showing me the lovely side of you right now. You're showing me the desperate, control freak side that even your boyfriend and your best friend cannot fucking stand. Y'all, I'd be short tempered with people like this at this point. You're not going to manipulate me and make me feel like I am a horrible person for letting people know you can handle your life. You can. You might need people to help you sometimes, and sometimes you might need to do it on your own. Pause and see what you need in this moment. And if you have to do it on your own and you feel afraid, you got this. You've handled other situations in your life all by yourself. You've got this. Don't be scared of seeing how much you can handle, how strong you are. That's basically what the post was saying. I don't remember which post it is anymore. It was a couple years ago. And that was their response to that. They were pissed off that I was telling people they got this. I know what's happening in your life. You're not projecting that shit onto me. It's the wrong one on the right day, baby boo. It's the wrong one on the right day. Sometimes you have to just allow yourself to speak openly and be like, I think you're full of shit right now. People are not going to like that. They're not going to like that because they want to be able to hear themselves, but they don't want to hear your reaction to the truth of who they are. And if you don't have the courage, the stamina, whatever it is to let people know like, "Hey, you're out of line." You need to abstain from being in their presence. Those are your options. But tolerating and accepting poor treatment like that, just because someone has an unrecognized dysfunction within themselves and they are projecting that dysfunction onto you, that's no longer an option. That is no longer a viable option for you as a good person, as someone who is highly empathic, as someone who struggles to um, establish and maintain boundaries. No, no, no. Be conveniently unavailable. You don't have to answer every call. You don't have to respond to every single text message. For the first time in your life, maybe it's time you choose you. When was the last time you chose you? When was the last time you allowed your energy to go towards healing yourself? Before you heal other people? We teach other people how to treat us based on what we tolerate. So teach them to treat you with the same care and consideration that you have given them, not because you gave them that care and consideration, but because they see clearly the causation and effect of their behaviors. When you demand too much from me, you don't have access to me. When you maltreat me, you don't have access to me. When you are nice to me, when you are kind to me, when you are considerate, I am absolutely accessible to you. And you do this with your actions, not with your words. The moment someone gets irate with me, okay, thank you, I have to go. The moment someone becomes very malignant in their approach, in the way they conduct themselves with me, just to let you know, this behavior will not be tolerated. I'm not sure if you're going through something. I feel like you are, and I feel like it has nothing to do with me. You go ahead and situate yourself, and you let me know when you are ready to speak in a civilized manner. But you're not going to be treating me like this. If you need help calming down, let a girl know. Okay. Like even my kids, you in a bad mood, okay, you're allowed to feel whatever you feel. You feeling grumpy? Okay, you're feeling grumpy. You projecting that bad mood or grumpiness out on everyone else? I don't fucking think so. You need help calming down? You feeling some strong emotions you can't handle? You need to let me know. But you're not going to maltreat your whole family because you're in a bad mood. Does that mean you can't have a bad mood? No, that means you're going through something. And if you need help processing what you're going through, you let me know and I'll see what I can do. Maybe I can help give you clarity. Maybe all you need is someone to hug you. Maybe that's all you need. Maybe you're overstimulated. We don't know. We don't know until you communicate to us what you are experiencing. And a lot of people have not learned this in their lifetime, in their childhood. They didn't learn this. Right? A lot of us had parents who didn't know how to be parents. It's okay. You don't have to be angry about that anymore. But now you do have to do the work that was not done with you as a child. You can only blame your childhood for so long. When you've been an adult for X amount of years, you are now responsible to see what your triggers are, to address whatever needs to be addressed, to learn other coping mechanisms, all of these different things, right? That doesn't make you a bad person just because you never learned how to self regulate. You have to let go of that self shaming that just because you didn't learn something in childhood, that makes you a bad person. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It means you need to spend a little more time cultivating the things that were not cultivated in childhood. I am not a perfect parent, I tell you that much. I am not a perfect parent. Whatever I failed to realize as a need for my children after a certain point, and I will try very hard to acknowledge all of their needs and fulfill all of those needs. But whatever I fail to realize when they are adults, they need to begin cultivating those. Whatever things that I didn't do for them, they need to begin cultivating that. They just do as part of being an adult. Okay. Um, let's see. Be careful of others attempting to take over and claiming as theirs what you have created or started. Be careful of this. I think for some of you, you're going to experience this in terms of a spiritual guru or some type of public figure or content creator trying to take credit for the hard work you've put into your healing. This a lot of people are like, Emmy, you need to let us give you credit. Oh, no, 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 no. Thank you for trying to. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm honored and humbled by being allowed to be part of your process to whatever degree you allow it. I'm honored and humbled to have somehow inspired you to heal yourself. But at the end of the process, all the credit is yours. I can be as inspirational as I want to be, but if you don't apply what you're inspired to do to heal yourself, none of it means anything. The credit is always yours. The healing, the growth, you did that. You showed up to the live streams. You heard the words. You figured out how to apply it to your life. Your growth and your healing is because of you. Be careful about giving people credit for things they should not be given credit for. And it's not about this ego-based thing. It has to do with the fact that if you don't give yourself the proper credit, you will continue to always believe that you don't have the capacity to heal yourself. When you genuinely believe that I healed you because I'm saying all this on a live stream, not even knowing who's watching, then how do you give yourself the appropriate awareness of what you're capable of doing? You don't. Instead, you project it out onto someone else. It's because of someone else. The good things are happening because of someone else. No, the good things are happening because you're making it happen for yourself. Again, it's absolutely an honor to be allowed to be a part of your journey, to inspire you in some way, to be a part of your empowerment journey. That's an honor. That is a massive compliment. But I didn't heal you. You did that yourself. This is not some manufactured authenticity where I'm telling you what I think you want. No, I genuinely believe this. You have to give yourself the credit you need to give yourself in order to develop the awareness, the necessary awareness to understand how powerful you are over your own life, your own journey. Okay? This is very, very important. This card is one of new starts, often after the past has been burned away, and denotes a period where you start anew. Be honest in your approach. Any arrogance will be your enemy. That includes arrogant people, okay? But I also want to take a moment to acknowledge we cannot continue to project and be like it's everyone else's fault. There are arrogant people, there are inconsistent. No, when you continue to put yourself in those environments and maintain those connections with those people, it's all on you. Okay? You're completely in control of your life, including the part of your life where you convince yourself you have no control. You're in control of that perception. It's a perception. You're in control of that. And if you choose to see yourself as disempowered, well, then you will be. And you will be surrounded by the people who will take advantage of that distorted perception. Right? You will have the zeal to get things done in the way you want. As far as your life is concerned, the pot is being stirred. Show caution with objects that have a fiery or electrical nature. So for people who are very fiery and they are poor at self-regulation, you have to be very cautious around those type of people. I think for people who chose number 2, and I don't know who chose number 2, you're being very powerfully placed in a position where you can see with clarity your influence over your life and your experiences. This is not about taking this opportunity to blame yourself. Blame does nothing. Blame is about victimhood. Blame is about lack of accountability. When you can see clearly the ways in which your decisions, your perception, your actions affect your life positively and negatively, you can then begin to consciously choose, like, okay, when I chose that, it led to something I liked. I choose more of that. And if I chose this and it led to something I didn't like, I don't want that anymore. I don't want that anymore. I'm not going to choose that anymore. And when you apply it to your connections with others, if you look at someone who has had a history with you, a very unsavory history with you. You remember their energy, the way they hold themselves, the way they made you feel, right? Even at the beginning when things were really, really good. And you come across someone else years later and they remind you of that person, something about them, the way they hold themselves, the way they make you feel especially at the beginning when things are good. And then seeing aspects of when things began to degrade between you and that other person. You see that in the new person. Did you like what happened with the first person? No? Okay, cut shit off with this new person. This is a cycle circling back around. It's circling back around to see what you learned with the first person, right? I've been in this space of like, I observe how things are cyclical. It's not always the same person coming back around. It's that same character embodied in other people that comes back around. Not because they're a bad person, it's because you're needing to learn, to be aware of how much you've learned and how you've been able to apply or don't apply what you've learned. It's about your wisdom, developing your wisdom. So be careful. Be careful. I think for those who pick number 2, you're in a massive learning cycle. It's not a bad one, but it's definitely challenging you. It's taking you to a whole nother level of awareness of who you are, how you can cultivate your environment to be more supportive of your growth. It's beautiful. I like it a lot, but it's challenging. It'll change your life. It will really empower you if you let it. But if you don't let it, that's going to be a really fucked off cycle. I ain't even going to mince words with you. It's going to be a really fucked off cycle. So if you can hear what I'm saying and apply it to your life in the way your soul wants you to apply it, which I don't know what way it is. I don't think you can avoid this, but you can experience this cycle in a way that's much more pleasant, much more tolerable, not so uncomfortable, not so painful. And if you can't avoid it, then I mean, at the very least, you can not make it worst case scenario. I mean, theoretically, right? Okay, for those who chose card number 1, North Node, life's purpose. The purpose of our lives is to be happy. This is a quote from the 14th Dalai Lama. I'm sorry, Mr. Lama. I mean, I know you're a spiritual leader and everything, 14th Dalai Lama of Tibet. I understand, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm going to have to disagree with the purpose of our lives being just happy. And that's just my personal opinion, and I'm going to leave it at that. Because I don't know, I don't want to get disrespectful, and I feel the disrespect building in me. Okay, focus. Focus, remain in a space of respect. The North Node points out the best areas for us to direct our talents and our wills. It shows the area of gifts. It represents destiny. It is directly opposed to the South Node, which is much more serious and restrictive. The North Node represents where we benefit from good work done in past lives and how that assists us in the here and the now. The North Node is a place in the chart where life becomes easier. It acts like a karmic Jupiter where a doorway opens and suddenly you're where you need to be. So I think for people who chose number 1, you're in a place where you've been applying yourself, you've been learning, actively trying to learn, actively trying to deepen your understanding. And now it's going to seem, you probably don't give yourself the credit that you deserve, but it's going to seem like out of nowhere, life has completely just shifted. Life has become more of a flow and it's starting to make sense. And you're not struggling as much about who you are and loving yourself and allowing yourself to receive. That's beautiful. I like that. Do more of that. Excuse me. When this card presents itself in a reading, you can be assured destiny has a place in your situation. Through many life lessons, you're about to arrive at a place for your higher good. Your life is expanding and opportunities pour in swiftly, catching you quite by surprise. This card also represents past life memories and karmic connections. I was about to say, this card feels like it's for the cross watcher. You may meet people whom you've known over many past lives, perhaps in a soul family where bonds form very quickly. You're taking on a larger view of life, which not only emphasizes your talents, but also aligns your talents with like minded souls. It's a fortuitous time to begin a privately owned business or other professional venture that will bring in extra finances. Whatever this venture may be, fun, creativity, and optimism will be a part of it. This is at this time, you'll feel less limited and your goals and plans will have far reaching potential. Keep in mind that the lunar nodes always bring shifts and changes. For instance, a relationship with someone who has destiny spelled all over him or her may suddenly walk into your life. So, this is tying in to the reading from earlier. Um, if so, this relationship will start rapidly and be life altering. See what I'm saying? Like you guys can help each other to grow. One job may end swiftly and you will find yourself in a much more suitable position. If the energy is used correctly, it will promote greater optimism and prosperity. This means finances are also likely to increase. So, a lot of really good things for people who chose number one, but it requires the presence of that individual. I know, right? It does. It requires the presence of that individual because I'm assuming they serve as a perfect mirror for the gravity of you, the gravity you hold within you. This energy is now telling you that the schooling part is over for now. Lessons have been learned, and you're now to act on these lessons towards a greater destiny. At this time, it's evident where you need to go and where you need to be. As a soul's messenger, the appearance of the North Node card in a spread indicates growing into what is called the larger unknown, meaning you're moving toward a point that promises greater fulfillment. The nodes are karmic, therefore, the lessons are not easy ones. Matters will develop suddenly, but there is still work to be done. Luck is on your side with an opening toward greater things. Karmic lessons learned and processed bring fulfillment and happiness. So you've been doing the work to learn these karmic lessons. You've been processing. You haven't been giving yourself the credit, but none of that even matters because soul sees the ways in which you're holding yourself to a deeper degree of accountability. And that accountability has nothing to do with blame or shame. You are allowing yourself to see yourself clearly, see yourself with clarity. What this means is you're now letting yourself see that you are the root of all the goodness and all the struggles that you face, either because you've been allowing passively people who should not access you to have access to you, or you have been allowing yourself to abstain from accepting invitations to enter into spaces of drama, unnecessary drama at that. Nothing worse than drama, but unnecessary drama. Whew, my goodness. I think also that you've been really allowing yourself to move past the sticky areas of stagnant energy. And as you move past it, it kind of like opens the valve to allow for a release of that sticky energy. And that's allowing more energy to flow. You're creating some type of flow in your life that's allowing really, really good things to happen. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Keep at it. It hasn't been easy for you, you know. I want to just take a moment to acknowledge that it has not been easy. And despite it not being easy, despite it being even very viscerally felt, like the pain, the nausea, the discomfort, um, having elevations in fear of maybe how ends are going to meet and how you're going to get things done and who's going to help and whatever it is that you're struggling with, you've still kept at it. And because you've shown tremendous courage under fire, boo, the rewards that are coming for you. That's beautiful. I can feel it, the potentiality. Your life is about to shift into a space that you've only dreamt of. For those who chose number one, I mean, the fact that you chose number one, it's like you're finally putting your needs as your priority. And because you're doing that, the effects of that single decision is bringing in so much goodness, goodness that you have abstained from receiving for probably your whole life. I wouldn't be surprised if it's been your whole life. And now you're finally positioning yourself into a space of just allowing. And as you allow, that flow brings to you all the things you've only dreamt of, the things you never thought you could do or could have or would happen for you. I mean, damn, that's some good shit. You've been doing some good work. Keep doing it. Keep working life that way. Keep letting yourself experience and observe from a neutral space so that way you can learn more and keep applying what you've learned, because look how it's coming. Look how it's coming. I'm sorry, guys. I know the people who didn't pick number one now want to pick number one, and usually I'm like, claim it all. I don't think that applies for this part, not for this video. I think for this video, it's not about the potentials. I think for this video, and I don't want to limit you guys, but I want to be honest. I think it's about your soul is informing you of where you're at. So if you want that number one, if you want to be able to claim that, you have to do the same degree of heavy lifting, difficult work that the people who are in that space have done. I'm not saying you can't ever claim it. I'm saying for this reading, the feel that I get is whatever number you chose, that's kind of where you're at right now. And it's about you making a decision to either continue there or choose something else, right? So if you really want that number one, do it. Do it. Put the work in, make it happen for yourself. That's not an impossible thing. It's not an impossible thing. It's challenging. Yeah, you're worth it. It's only in the spaces of challenge that you tap into the greatest potential. You can tap into lower potentials in spaces that don't challenge you as much. You can, there's still potential. But if you want the greatest potential, oftentimes that's stored in the spaces that are the most challenging. It's just kind of how it is, right? You can do it. You can handle it. Make it happen for yourself. And the notification says, don't miss out. Don't miss out. So there's something that's going to be presented to all of you. Okay. And as it is presented to you, make a decision. It's not going to be the easiest, right? And if you pick the easiest, uh, I don't know that you will get the bestest. You will get the easiest. There's this thing that I've heard where contractors should present to their potential clients an option. They can pick only two things out of three options. Do you want it fast but expensive, cheap but slow, or done properly? I don't remember the options. I hope you guys have heard it because maybe, maybe. But it's this thing of like, if you want it fast, it's not going to be cheap. And if you're willing to have it be slow, then it's going to probably take a long time. And if you want quality work, it's not going to be cheap. And if you want it to be cheap, it's probably not going to be quality work. But they got it done fast. You can only pick two out of those. And what do you want? Apply this to your spiritual journey, because what you want is what you will get. And if you want to take shortcuts with your growth, if you only want to half ass it, and that's a harsh way to put it, but we got to frame it properly. We got to place it in the frame of reality. If you want to half ass your growth, you're going to have a half ass result. If you're willing to invest your everything in yourself, the beauty that you build for yourself, I mean, I think you're worth it. I think you're worth it. I think you're finally being positioned in a place of seeing, are you where you want to be? Or are you where you tolerate being? If you're not happy, well, changes need to be made. You need to adjust your approach, adjust your perception, and do what makes you feel happy, feel accomplished, right? You're not failing. You're just accustomed to not seeing the reality of things. Because people will say things in a nice way, and it will go ahead and enable you to continue only partially showing up for yourself. The reason my readings affect people to the degree that it does is because, no, I will not do that for you. I will not allow you to think you're doing everything you can if you aren't. And no, you're not failing when you do that. You're just not aware of how much more you can do for yourself, how much more you can handle. I do that too sometimes. So I'm not speaking from a soapbox. I'm simply sharing what life has helped me to see for my journey, and hoping that whatever I share will inspire you to begin looking more closely so you can see what you need to see for your journey. We all have no idea where this is taking us. But isn't it beautiful to be able to have clarity on how far you're willing to go for yourself? I'm willing to go all the way. I'm willing to go all the way. I had a thought, and I'm going to leave you guys with this thought. I had this one thought earlier today. So I'm dropping weight, I would say fairly rapidly, um, because my hormones are placing me back in my old state of health, which is much healthier than I've been in the past year, 2 years maybe. Um, my body doesn't like to hold on to weight very well. And so I've dropped about 10 pounds in the past week. No, I'm not cutting calories or even counting my macros yet. I got all of that kind of figured out, but I haven't applied it yet. And so it's this thing of, as I'm dropping this weight, I've had so many kids and my belly skin has been stretched out tremendously. And now it's deflating. And I haven't seen it this crinkly and just fucking weird looking. I think ever. I think ever. And I was looking at it this morning and I was just like, I'm not going to step on a stage with my skin like that. If my skin doesn't retract, I'm not going to do it. And then I looked at myself, not at my belly, but in my eyes. I looked at myself in the eyes and I was like, you know damn well there are services that can be offered that are non-surgical that can help to tighten up the skin if you really want to make it your goal to compete. How far are you willing to go? And then I realized I'm willing to consider it. If I really, really have it in my heart to compete and I really, really, really want to win, I have it in my heart to consider that. Again, non surgical, but skin tightening. Let's see. Let's not worry about that right now because we're nowhere near competing right now. But it's good to acknowledge that that's something that kind of bothers me a little bit. I'm not ashamed of my belly, but that bothers me because guess what? It's not aesthetics. It's about the fact that that will affect my opportunity to win. I'm competitive as fuck. In a competitive environment, I am competitive as fuck. And I know I'm not doing all this work to shape my body just to be able to say that I competed. No, I want to win. I want to win. So I have time. I have time to allow my body to do whatever it's going to do. I have time to allow myself to gently witness whether my skin will retract or not. And if it doesn't retract to the degree that I would like for it to retract, I'm aware of various non surgical procedures that can help to encourage that skin to retract. What I needed this morning was to acknowledge where I'm at within my journey, how committed I am to that fitness journey, and what I'm willing to do for myself. Right? So, no, it's not about shaming myself. It's not about feeling ashamed of myself. It's about understanding the process I'm in and what the goal actually is. Am I willing to compromise that goal? Because really, if I'm not willing to compete, if I don't really have my heart set on a professional competition, I'm in pretty fit shape right now. I have an athletic build right now. Is this enough? Was that my goal? No, that wasn't my goal. That's one of the side effects, one of the benefits of the goal that I've set. What's my goal? Competing at a degree that most people cannot and will not compete at. I want to see how far I can go. I deserve to know. You apply this to your spiritual journey. You deserve to know how far you can go. You deserve to acknowledge the ways in which parts of your character, parts of your journey, parts of the details of your history, whatever it is, these are parts of you. You deserve to know what parts of you make you feel a little bit unsure and um a little bit in a space of disbelief, right? Like you don't believe you could actually. That's okay. Acknowledge it and keep going. Acknowledge it and keep going. You know how I ended that internal introspection moment I had in the mirror today? You know how I ended that? Bitch, you ain't got time. You woke up late. You need to get your ass to the gym. And so I went to the gym. I went to the gym. My belly is what it is. I'm not ashamed of it either. It is what it is. I have the body of a mother, a fit ass mother at this point. But it's still a mother's body. I will never feel ashamed. Mm, mm, mm. I think women need to hear this. It makes me emotional. I will never feel ashamed of the marks left on my body because of where my children lived as they were being formed. Mm-mm, never. My single greatest achievement, no matter where my career goes, no matter where my fitness journey goes, no matter how profound my purpose is, my single greatest achievement will be forever that I am a mother to my children. I will never be ashamed of the way my body held them, protected them. Ever. Never, ever, ever. That's why I'm not willing to. People be like, just get a tummy tuck. No, 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 that's a part of me. That's a part of my history. I'm not ashamed of that. I don't want to do things that would have me feeling and living as though that part of me, the most greatest part of me, never happened. No, I would like the skin tightened. Okay. The marks are there. And honestly, they're already so faded. But I run my fingers and I feel the ridges, very softened, but the ridges are still there. And I remember. I don't ever want to forget that. Your journey is beautiful. And even if people don't understand, it doesn't take from the beauty. It doesn't. It doesn't. Recognize where you're at. Yes, I was in a space of like, oh, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. And I will see what my efforts lead me to. And as I realize where I'm being led, I will know what other options to consider. But at no point for me is it ever an option to cut away parts of my history. I don't ever want that. I just don't. I don't. Right? And that's how I know. I've made progress in learning how to love myself to the degree that I deserve. And that's how I know my life is in the process of changing in the most beautiful ways, because I don't think I've ever been able to love myself as deeply as I love myself now, with a very clear knowing there's room to love myself even more deeply. Like, right? Life is beautiful when you let it be. When you stop convincing yourself, it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. Okay? So, guys, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. And I will see you guys again very soon. If you would like, if you would like a personal reading, please check out this QR code. Just click on it or click on the link in the comments, and it'll take you to where you can book a private reading with me. If you would like to see all of the other types of sessions that I offer, click on this QR code and go check it out. I have a whole bunch of other stuff. Other stuff. There is basic energetic maintenance, but there's also quite a few very advanced energetic work. I'm going to be tweaking my website a little bit very soon for those who want to know. And I'm going to categorize it so people are more able to easily select some of the things, like if you need help with health issues, you want me to work on things like that, it'll be much easier for people, because I know a lot of the words I use are not common words. They're rooted in quantum chelantic sciences as well as aura spectra bioregenesis. So it is what it is, yo. But I'll see you guys again very soon. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. I love you guys. I truly do. And I have such a deep appreciation for the ways in which you've contributed to me learning how to love myself properly. So I appreciate you. I'll see you guys again.